Okay. Okay, hi. Hi, people. Wow, there's people here. Hello. Okay, do you mind, my friends? I'm in the middle of a technical difficulty, if you can't tell from uh this is not the usual camera that I use when I'm streaming. I could go forward with it. Hello, people. Hi. I was just hoping that I could use a different one. Oh, now it's. Hold on. Okay, geez. All right, now my camera. All right, give me like a second to set up, guys. Would you give me that moment? Hello. Hi, people. Hi, Ash. Hi, Chocolate Donut Chip. Hi, King Intern. Who else is here? Hi, Bren's Wild World. All right, everybody. I'm going to need to take the quickest 2 seconds here at the start because as you can tell, I'm not like properly in frame. But then oh, hi, Kill Girly Trout. Yo, there you are. You leave a lot of good comments. All right, give me 1 second, friends. I need to get this because my camera was not properly registering before. There, that's better. I need to get my proper angle. I need to get my art in frame if I can. There we go. Okay. There we go. There we go. This is better. I don't love that. Hold on. Sorry. I'm so sorry. This is not what I intended. I thought I gave myself more than enough time. Alas, I was mistaken. Okay, this is better. This is better. Okay. Oi. Oh, okay. So no, I did not make this. This is my fiance's grandfather passed away a couple years ago, and he had collected a bunch of artwork in his life, and this is one of the ones uh, that he collected. It's a fashion sketch, and I've always really liked it because I'm a little bit of a fashion gal, and see that didn't take too long, so and he I didn't know him for very long, but he was just such a sweet man. And he liked me, and that was nice. So I think there was a kind of um, community, not, I don't know. My fiance is like such a nice guy, but he's also had a little trouble with dating sometimes. So I think the family was kind of like, I don't know if he's ever gonna settle down with a nice girl. And then I came along, and so he did. So that was nice. And so he appreciated me anyway. He appreciated like meeting me before he passed is kind of what I gather. So I like having this as a reminder of him, and also it's a nice painting. You know, it's I think pencil or watercolor. Um, yeah, pencil. I think mostly pencil and colored pencil with a little bit of watercolor and paint. But yeah, so that's cool. I like to have this. I was thinking about changing out some of the artwork because we have quite a collection that we gathered from him. Uh, when he passed, he had a lot to. Oh, Junior, can you hear him? Can you hear him being sad? Oh, hold on. He's gonna figure out if he wants to be in here or not. Just he has to figure it out quick. Hi, bud. Hi. Hi. Are you gonna hang out? Come here. Come here. Come here. Hi. Oh my goodness. All right, now are you gonna stay or are you gonna go? You gonna sit? I just watched Oz's video for this because I somehow missed it. Whatever Destery updates there are have me nervous, but here we go. Okay, yeah. So, we're gonna... this is my buddy. He's sitting down. He's been in a different part of the house for a while. We do have Destery updates, but like it's not really a huge update so much as just it's an update for me, but it might not be an update for everybody else. But I want to start with the OzMedia video because that is more of an actual update for everybody as opposed to a situation where I was just ignorant and hoping for the best and proven wrong. So I wanted, why don't we get started? Because we're here. I'm not happy with the camera angle, I'm not gonna lie, but now I have this man on my lap and he's warm and he's huge. What are you doing, bucko? What are you doing, Bubba? Can you let me stand up for 1 second? And then I'll come back. I promise this is the last time. Hi. I promise this is the last time I sit up or I get up. And then he's unhappy. He wants to sit. Buddy, I know I need to clip your claw. I know I need to clip your claws. Can I stand up? But buddy. I'm so sorry, guys. Hey, buddy, I'm not a chair. I just want to get up for a second. Thank you. I'll be right back. Okay. Just going to do this. That's it. And I can go. I don't know if that made any difference, but okay. All right, Junior, I'm sitting. Now you can come. Now you can come. Why does that look stupider? Jeez, hold on. I'm sorry. Okay. All right, even if I don't like it, I'm leaving it there. No, that's fine. That's it. That's the good angle. All right, come here. Buddy. Buddy, no? All right, sorry. I'll be right, I'm done, I promise, as soon as I'm done with this. Hi, you going? All right, bye-bye. Bye-bye, move your tail. Move your tail. All right, that was our brief moment of Cat. I hope everybody enjoyed it. He might be back. Oh, hi, first time here live. Nice to have you. I don't do live super often, to be honest. I've been trying to, I've been trying to have a more consistent schedule in general on my channel, but life has been crazy. So now that he's gone, I can focus a little better. So, general updates. It is my plan and my intention to do a Colleen Ballinger series. However, things keep happening, and I keep having things that are kind of stick in my brain, like these little I really need to get this off my mind before I can move forward with the Colleen thing. Is kind of how I feel, because the Colleen thing is going to be a long process. I feel like it could be. It depends on how in depth I go with it, and that's the struggle that I'm having right now as I'm assembling things. I'm how long do I want this series to be? How in depth do I want to go? Because there's a a cost benefit analysis to how at what point is it beyond being worth the effort I'm putting into it, either because somebody else out there has already covered certain things I'm talking about, and so I can just refer you to them, or because it's like too mentally taxing for me. So like I'm trying to figure out the right balance with that. Um, oh hey, Dreadnought, what's up? Um, so what I'm hoping for as I'm kind of in the planning stages on that, I'm gonna talk today about a couple of things that have gone on that I just want to kind of get off my chest, get off my list. I have at least 2 more stories that I want to do updates to as well. There's the 2 that are in the thumbnail of this video with OzMedia and iiluminaughtii and Shane Dawson and Destery Smith. And I do want to address both of those in this stream. I have a 3rd topic that probably a whole stream will be dedicated to. I have a 4th topic that could be pretty quick, so it might go into the same stream that 3rd topic will be addressed in. But it's also these 2 topics over here are getting more like mainstream news coverage. So it's not stuff that's going unaddressed. Like I jumped on the Ruby Franke and Jodi Hildebrand arrest, for example, right when it happened, because I was afraid that nobody was going to pick up the story. Excuse me. And I felt like I needed to like be part of amplifying that story as soon as possible, like right when it happened, so that people, like, just in case it got missed by the mainstream news, but then mainstream news picked it up, so that was awesome. And then so that's one of the things I want to do, is do some updates, because my stream had, you know, only initial information, and there's a lot more that's come out since then. But yeah, I feel like stuff that has had more mainstream coverage, I don't feel as pressed to catch up on. Oh, hi. Thanks for coming. But I do feel like for those who only watch my stuff, there is value to me doing those updates. So yeah, let me, you know, if you're here, hi, hello, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. I hope you like the stream. I hope that you do me a favor and check if you're still subscribed, because I keep having this thing where people tell me that they find out, like they realize, oh, I got unsubscribed from you by YouTube automatically, or people are seeing my videos and they're like, oh my God, the last time I saw a video from you was right before you got your surgery. And that was like October of last year, and hi, it's September of this year. So I don't know what's happened to my videos and my channel this past year. It's been a bumpy road with that. So just like check if you're subscribed, check if you're notified. And because I think that, you know, it helps. And yeah, if you give the stream a little like, it helps get things. Yeah. Somebody right now in the chat. Wait, can I put this up? Ahaha, I figured out how to do it in my program. As you say this, I got unsubscribed. What did I say? So it's not just a myth. It happens. People get unsubscribed. Oh, hi, Mina. Okay, cool. So yeah, today's stream is going to be a couple of the topics that I want to just like kind of get off my chest before I dig into the Colleen Ballinger stuff. And the first one we're going to start with is OzMedia. I think I would like to kind of post this section of the stream as an individual video, but you're getting it first because you're here. So there we go. Oh, the hair is on point. Thank you so much. The hair is a mess today, but thank you. I shouldn't say that. Thank you. So yeah, my most recent channel video was posted about a week ago. It was about iiluminaughtii. I did an update part 2, specifically about how at the end-ish of August, OzMedia posted about how he's been working on a video, but specifically, he had recently received some legal threats from Illuminati, Blair, threatening in some way, shape, or form that she would be able to take his home from him. And I had a theory as to what that was going to be about. My theory is not the real. I was wrong. And so I'm glad I didn't voice my theory in that video, because I was not correct about what I thought was the reason that she would legally feel able to do that. So don't don't worry about the Destery update. It's not as scary as it seems. We'll get there. It's not so bad. But what I do want to share with you is Oz's video. Honestly, this stream, this video, I'm gonna be just reacting to Oz's video and trying to, like, because he goes through all of these videos from all of the Sad Milk guys. They go through so much information so quickly that, like, if you don't take a second and think back and connect it to the other stuff, then sometimes it can kind of like go over your head exactly what's going on. So I want to spend some time looking at Oz's video, giving it some airtime, because there were some viewers of mine who didn't even know that it had necessarily been published until they saw me post about it. So I'm sure that there are other people out there who also didn't necessarily see it. So I want to make sure that it gets seen by as many people as possible. It deserves to be seen. His story deserves to be told. And I also just want to give my take on the whole situation, as much as my take matters, you know? Bring my analysis and the lines that I can draw, connecting different dots as much as I can. Before we do that, like this video, subscribe to my channel. I hope this one might need a little bit of a warning, just in that it talks about misuse of power and financial manipulation, and that can be, you know, depending on your life experiences, absolutely that can be a trigger for some people. So if that's something that is hard for you to hear about, this might not be the video for you. You don't have to watch it. Treasure your mental health, protect it, and you are welcome to go in peace, my friend. But if you want to hear more about this and dive into OzMedia's video updating us on everything, stick around. Do you have a drink? Do you have a snack? I started eating a banana and I didn't finish it. I'm not going to do it on stream. Are you cozy? Good. Oh, wait. I heard little cat feet on the stairs. I hear somebody walking over to this door. Oh, hi. Hold on. I'm just gonna check, because if he starts meowing. Hi. You coming in? Hi, mister. He's always one side of the door or the other. Whatever side of the door he's on is the wrong side. Come here. Come here, Bubba. All right, he's gonna come over eventually. He'll take his time, but he'll make it. Oh, have you made it? Sir, buddy, pal, friend, mister. Hi, come here. Come here. Hi, big boy. Hi. Okay. We have a guest. Oh, briefly. There's sunshine over there, so I get why this is not as ideal as over there. All right. Do you have a drink? Do you have a snack? Are you cozy? Are you ready to settle in? Good. Let's dive in. And now let's look. Part of the setup that I was just doing, for those of you who were here for the first 5 minutes of the stream and you were seeing me adjust my camera angle and everything, part of the issue there caused me to restart my whole computer. I lost all the tabs that I had open. It's a pain in the tuchus, but it's here. So I just need to pull it back up. Sorry. Oh, Adam McIntyre just posted half an hour ago. His is probably also a reaction to Oz's video, to be honest. I'm glad that he's keeping up his coverage of this situation because he has such a loud voice. That's also, like, I kind of hope that he picks up on what I'm going to say about Destery. But again, it's not like breaking news with Destery. It's more of like, I just realized something that I'm annoyed I didn't realize before. And I want to make sure that I share it so that my audience is aware, because I wasn't aware, so I want to make sure you guys are. Just in case you're like me, and sometimes you become occupied with other things, you know? It's hard to stay on top of everything that's going on. Oh, okay, yeah, you were in Adam's stream about it. Hi, chat. Let me just say hi to you guys really quick because I just realized I forgot to put on my lip gloss. Yeah, Joopy has great socks. Okay, everybody's excited to see Jupiter. Good, good, good. Ooh, it's 11 p.m. for somebody. Good job. Or good job? Yeah. Good job having time in your time zone. Go to sleep. After struggling with sleep as much as I have, don't let me keep you up. This is gonna be a VOD. So you can always catch me after. That felt wrong. Whatever I just did to my lip feels... No! Oh my god. I'm so sorry I just yelled. I accidentally almost ended my live stream. Okay. But I didn't. So, all right. I need to turn on Do Not Disturb because I'm getting notifications right now while I'm streaming. And it's people are commenting on my Illuminaughtii video right now. And it is throwing me for a loop. Because I get distracted because I have ADHD. Where is my Do Not Disturb? Time to go to my settings real quick. Settings. Sorry, this is taking me forever, people. I'm so sorry. Do Not Disturb. Activate. Do it. Do it. Now. What? I want to... Do Not Disturb. Do it. Correcto. Now. Why am I bad at the internet? This isn't even the internet. This is just using my Mac. Now is when I want it to happen. Oh my god. What's today? Today's Tuesday. Great. Okay, do not disturb is on. Fabulous. I'm so sorry, folks. I'm so sorry. You're still here, thank God. Yeah, I thank you. Yeah, why is the quit button right next to other important things? Okay. All right. So today, we're back, I promise. All right. Today's Tuesday, September 19th, and about what, a day? No, 3 days ago. Wow, it's been 3 days. 3 days ago, OzMedia posted an update video regarding his part of the whole sad milk / Illuminati situation. So I want to share that video with you and we can talk about it because it's dense, it's thick. There's a lot going on. So let's get into that. And let me just arrange it a little bit on the screen. Da 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 da. Where's a good place for me? He talks kind of down there, so I'll put myself up here. And let's watch this. Let me just make sure, yes, system audio should be on.
Howdy everyone, I'm Oz, in the flesh. No cartoon avatar this time. I'm making this because I'm giving an update to both my regular viewers and those who are here for something a bit more...
Sorry, just the immediate shade. I mean, the immediate shade. Multiple of these creators use a lot of cartoon avatars in their work, so it's not necessarily just Illuminati that he's talking about here, but I love. We're gonna find out some things during this video in case you aren't as aware of the lore here, so it's just lovely.
specific. To my regular viewers first, I hope this video can help explain where I've been over the last 3 years. For those who are here for the Illuminati drama, I do have some news, and I'm making this video for full transparency, as I believe this is important in a situation like this. First and foremost, I need to make everyone aware, for reasons that I hope this update will make clear, for my safety, I need to put a short and temporary pause on production of my video on Illuminati. The video will still of course be produced. I just need to put things on a lower burn and return to regular content for the time being.
So what I didn't realize is that because I had asked in my video that I made, like, how did Blair even know that he was making a video? Like, how did she know to go after him in an attempt essentially to make him not make his video? I suppose I think my echo cancellation is just going to be on and my warped. So what people are telling me in the comments of my video where I was asking that is that he had gone on a stream recently and somebody had asked him if he was going to make a video. Essentially, he said yes, and so that got him under Blair's watchful eye a little bit, I guess. I think it was Tipster. Did somebody say it was Tipster? I have to look back at. Well, I believe it was Tipster. If not, if I'm wrong, I'll let you know. But I think I was surprised when I first yeah. Oz yeah, okay. Oz told Tip on stream that he was making his own video. Okay, thank you, Bren's Wild World. Yeah, I think that this is what I saw in the comment that I was given. I think I was surprised that Oz was planning on making a video, to be honest with you, because he really was pretty like adamant that he wasn't going to. During his video during Wonder's video that he contributed parts to. So I am very curious as to why he changed his mind. It makes me wonder. It makes me wonder if Blair was doing something behind the scenes, or if it was just that tweet that she had sent the cease and desist letter to Oz's dad, and he said in that tweet, you know, you're forcing my hand, something I didn't originally want to do. And I'm like, is there more to that though? Because it's a lot to put at risk because you didn't like that Blair sent your dad a letter. So, like, interesting. I want to know if there's more that went on behind the scenes there, but I'm sure if there is anything of note, Oz will say it in his later video. Yeah. All right, back to Oz's video.
For many reasons. Some of them being the honest truth that I can't afford to continue at this rate, both fiscally and physically. Illuminati has taken this to a legal front, using the courts because of how poorly things went for her on the internet. As a reminder, for those of you unaware, Illuminaughtii started a fight with a lawyer on Twitter, accused him of copying her style, which then led to other content creators and past collaborators speaking out about their past interactions with her. Illuminaughtii is the one who took this off of Twitter and brought it onto YouTube, where she would then post a suicide note of one of her former employees for the world to see as an attempted own.
Yep, okay. I appreciate. Wait. Okay. Guys, did you just see the screen share there, or was it just me while he was talking? Because my program is giving me mixed messages. Can you just let me know? Sorry, I'm flipping back and forth between like 6 different screens here and trying to keep track. This is why people have multiple desktops when they stream. Anyway, we can see it. You can see it. Awesome. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate him making this point here about I don't even remember now. God damn it. Oh. Yes.
Reactions. Illuminaughtii is the one who took this off of Twitter and brought it next meal or my next.
Oh my God. I'm so sorry, guys. This is not my best day. This is not my best stream.
And brought it onto YouTube, where she would then post a suicide note of one of her former employees for the world to see as an attempted own.
That point. I'm glad that he made the point, not only about posting somebody's self-unaliving note, allegedly, potentially, as an own, but before that, bringing this fight from Twitter onto YouTube, because I do think that that's a point that does not always get picked up, and that's why I keep mentioning it in my videos. This was a Twitter battle, a Twitter spat that she brought in front of her, at the time, 1.5 million subscribers. And because of what an authoritative person she set herself out to be for her subscribers, because of the type of content that she created as a documentarian and a whatever, putting herself up as this very right and righteous kind of person by always, especially, feigning a lot of moral outrage over the things that she saw companies and creators and celebrities doing. When she stands up on her soapbox to talk about the alleged ills that other people have done against her, it carries a certain weight to her 1.5 million followers, as opposed to however many followers people have over on Twitter, you know, tens of thousands. Still significant, but not the same as 1.5 million at the time. And like, thank God these guys didn't back down and that they actually came forward with their sides of all these stories, because she could have Like they could have been intimidated by the mere size of her platform that she escalated this to. And they weren't. And they didn't. They told their stories. And if anybody is the downfall of Illuminati, it's her damn self for picking this fight. So, sorry, my skin is so reactive. I scratched myself for 1 second and now this is going to be there the whole rest of the video. So great. Love that for all of us. All right. I hope I'm not going to pause that much throughout, but all right. I'm going to let him talk. I'm going to go back a little bit because that got a little choppy with all of my technical difficulties. Let's listen.
Her. Illuminaughtii is the one who took this off of Twitter and brought it onto YouTube, where she would then post a suicide note of one of her former employees for the world to see as an attempted own. Now, full transparency, I was one of the creators who spoke out against her, despite the fears and hesitations that I had. I've put a lot of things in my life on hold to produce this video, ending up with nearly 110 pages of a manuscript which details as much of what I can. And let me tell you something. Converting this monstrosity into a video with its accompanying 5,000 screenshots has been one hell of a monumental task for me, a one-person team, to embark on. I want to get everything right, or more of I need to, and I need to ensure that everyone's stories are factual. But to do so, I need to pump the brakes and not rush this out for the sake of being able to not stress about my next meal or my next.
Let's just pause for a damn second. The sheer volume of what he just described, he's going to unload onto the internet whenever that time comes, is mind-blowing to me. But also it's like, this is what everyone has been waiting for. This is what Blair has been so afraid of. This is why she's trying to make his life hell, because she knows. This is what I was saying, man, in my last video. She knows what he knows. She knows what he has on her, and my God, the amount of screenshots, like he's building a court case for himself through this video. He knows that he can't say a damn thing wrong or else Blair will exploit it. She's already going to try to twist the truth and whatever ends up, because something will come of this. This is the beginning of something that is not going to end for years, because there will be a legal battle. But I also think, honestly, that in a way, I think this could be Oz positioning himself as like, Blair, back off, because if you don't, I have this and I'm going to release it. I didn't want to. But the more you keep trying to intimidate me, the more I feel that I have to, you know? And just that glimpse, just the taste of what remains to be seen, should scare the bejesus out of Blair. I don't think it will, because I think that she's too worried with being correct. What is it? Would you rather be right or would you rather be happy, or whatever it is? Like she's more concerned with being right than she is with being happy. So she's going to make life hell for herself and others, rather than just take an L, rather than admit defeat. So I don't think she's going to be scared by that, but a reasonable person would watch this video from Oz and be like, hey, can we come to some kind of certainly we can find some common ground here and move forward amicably. If somebody had that much on me that they were about to release, that they were working on writing and releasing and whatever, I would do whatever I could. I would back the fuck off of whatever house I was thinking about taking you know, Blair and her hundreds of thousands. My God. It's oof. It's like it's exciting for me as a commentator because I want to know what he knows, but also at the same time, it's very interpersonal conflict, this whole thing with the Sad Milk team. So if it can be handled privately, that's probably the best for all of them. And I don't necessarily want people's dirty laundry to be the subject of, like, I try not to, there's been a lot of online talk about different people's public relationships and stuff, and like, do I have opinions? Sure. Do I feel like I need to lend my voice to that conversation? Not really. I i, I don't care enough that it's not important enough to me to like bring it to you as my audience and bring your attention to that kind of thing. It's the same kind of thing here with like the same way that I don't really talk about who's breaking up with who in order to date somebody else and whatever. That doesn't really impact any of us. This thing between the Sad Milk team didn't impact any of us until we realized how much she was using the audience as her minions in her battles that she was fighting. You know what I mean? The parts of it that can be that are interpersonal and don't impact the audience as much and that can be handled privately, I think would be for the best. I'm not looking for gossip and muckraking to be my content here, but I am also fascinated to see the truth behind this person who, like I said, has really put herself up as a moral uh this self-righteous person and making these very like moral grandstands in her videos. How is she treating her team? Miss Corporate Casket, Miss CEOs suck, Miss Corporations are evil. How are you treating your employees? I don't mind that kind of conversation. All right, too much, too much. Let's get back to it.
Next bill for that matter. Because of this, I need to, and more importantly, I want to, continue my regular content so I can afford to live day to day. There is another.
I appreciate him making this ask because I have felt this before. And I'm not even in one of these situations, but like when I've been working on like big, huge, long projects, I have felt this like I need to put something out for the sake of the algorithm. But like, it's very interesting that he's doing this, and I appreciate it a lot. I think that this kind of transparency is very healthy for a creator. I like that a lot.
To all of this, a factor which Illuminati has caused, or as I will be calling her throughout this video, Blair. For full transparency, I explored more in my. Blair and I dated. We were a couple for a decent chunk of time. This puts me in an ungodly complicated situation of doing everything that I can to try and separate the relationship drama from the public drama, as
I unmute. Okay, unmuted. Who else didn't know that they were a couple? Personally, I had a hunch because the two of them were living together, but I thought that was more of a roommate thing, or I thought that that was Illuminati starting her like company town thing. That was my original hunch when it came to what I thought was going on with why she could take his house, was that it had to do with that company town thing she was thinking of starting. I thought that her first company town member was going to be Oz, and that's why they kind of had a house together, as it was really hers and he was like lending or like rent to owning it from him. But like, boy oh, peeps, boy oh, what an interesting. I just, the more that I look at this, the more that I see these parallels between Blair and Colleen, and like how interesting that both of these stories are going on at the same time. Because the way that they use the people around them for strictly business purposes, allegedly, in my opinion, um, is it's just fascinating, and it sticks out like a knife. It Yeah. Yeah. Let's keep looking, because we need to hear more about this.
In the there are a lot of things which I bore witness to. Before anything else, I want to firmly state that this update is being made with the understanding that there is a likelihood that this will end up in a courtroom. I say this because things have been escalating quite a bit behind the scenes, and the stress has certainly been rising. What I can only describe as retaliation from the person who's my ex, former employer, and prior colleague, Blair is in the process of currently foreclosing my home. Because of this stress of Blair taking my home from me, I need to pump the brakes and change directions so I won't be homeless come Christmas. Because that's when Blair set my home to foreclose, right before Christmas.
The cruelty, honestly, the fucking cruelty. I think that's what's been sticking out to me a lot about Colleen, Blair, and the other situation I'm going to talk about later today in this stream is like, YouTubers are just out here being fucking cruel to people. And I don't use that word lightly. That's why I don't often use it. But like, this is not petty drama. This is not, photos that exclude people, and they said they couldn't hang out with me because they were sick, but then they were actually going and hanging out with those other people instead. The shade. That's not what this is. This is cruelty. Allegedly, if what he's saying is true, etc. But like, it's like I said, I've never seen people act like this. The only reason that they can is because their job is online instead of in person, because in person this behavior is unacceptable. It's also unacceptable online, but you can get away with it online. Ugh.
And yes, Blair has the power to set the foreclosure sale. This situation was a fear and hesitation that I had from the beginning, even telling Wonder as far back as April, a day before my thread went up, that I was mortified that if I spoke out against Blair or even dared to cross her, that she would retaliate with taking my home from me. When I did speak out, as many of you are aware, Blair sent me a cease and desist. A cease and desist, by the way, over a Twitter thread which she apologized for not only in her video, but as well as privately. Despite this, I persisted on working on my video, continuing the production of something which started as 20 pages, then slowly grew into the novel that it's become. Throughout this entire process, I had the fear that once I released this video, Blair would drop the hammer on me. I've lived the last 4 months of my life with the looming threat of Blair's retaliation, and truth being, from my understanding, she could have done this as early as June. As to why Blair waited so long, I'm honestly unsure. To me, it feels like Blair is taking every course of action that she can to prevent this video from being produced, from legal threats to trying to take my home, which wouldn't be surprising, considering Blair's alleged white-collar crimes I intend to expose with evidence within my video. Before
We're gonna. So many bombs in this. It's crazy. Okay. Woof. Woof. Okay, so there's a lot there, but again, it's cruelty. And everybody in my not everybody, but people in my comments are repeating the swoop tagline, absolutely beautiful, isn't it? It's not drama, it's dangerous. And it's so true. When people are given or take, in my opinion, this much power over people's lives, and we're going to see that throughout this expose, essentially, that Oz does. I wanted to acknowledge a super chat that I got from Willow. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate that. And I'm glad that you're here, Willow. It makes a difference. I also wanted to mention, and I need to pull this up. I have linked in the description of this stream, and when I make it a video, it'll be in the description of the video. I also have it linked in the description of my recent Illuminati video that I just uploaded about a week ago. There's not only the GoFundMe for Oz's legal fees and housing, there's also the GoFundMe for Wonder, because he's also made a GoFundMe for his legal fees, because, of course, these are the two who got cease and desists. So I want to pull up both of those real quick. I want to do a checkup on both of those. People are telling me that Oz's is up above 30,000, I believe, which is wonderful to see. Very, very happy to see it. Yeah. So let me because now we're seeing what he's going through and the battle that he has to face. He's going to need some funding. So, we'll talk about cookies another time. Yes, over 30,000. Thank you to those of you who contribute. This is life-changing for him, for what he needs right now. The more the merrier, though, because as you can see, based on what he's describing, this is not a $30,000 legal battle coming up. This is hundreds of thousands of dollars in legal fees that he's going to need to, because, you know, a good lawyer works on a contingency, but you don't, but you have to help along the way. They don't work forever for free. You know, I don't know. It depends on who the lawyer is and how they work. I don't want to make any assumptions. The other part is, get out of here. Okay, and then here's Wonders. Wonder is also over 19,000, almost 20,000, which is awesome. I didn't even expect this, but yeah, he's still got money coming in up to just a few weeks ago. So thank you so much, those of you who are contributing to these funds, because these guys, at least Oz is making it clear that he has a huge legal battle ahead of him. I don't know what's in the future for Wonder, but I can only imagine that if Blair has been turning up the heat so much on Oz, she's not holding back on Wonder. Why would she? Especially because she has so much financial power over these guys. Even if there was none of the manipulative and contract shit, she just is so much more wealthy than these guys. So that in and of itself is a huge power imbalance. This whole thing is misuse of power. This whole thing is imbalance of power. And until the two of them have been smote into ashes, I'm sure she's going to keep reminding them how much more power she has over them. And that's why we matter, and we are going to make a huge difference in their lives. Just $1 from the people who've watched my videos. My first Illuminati video is sitting around 40,000 views. Huge for either of them or both of them. My most recent video, I think, is currently sitting around, 8,500 views. Huge for these guys, for what they're going through. So please contribute a little bit if you can. The links are in the description of this if you want to open another tab while you're watching. It's huge. All right.
Before any of this, I am taking the proper legal channels and speaking with the right people to elevate this down the needed path. Because of this, it would be unwise of me to reveal further information. I can only assume this is one of the reasons Blair is so determined to shut down my video's production. And to repeat myself from earlier, every word that I speak within this update is with the explicit understanding that this video may end up on the floor of a courtroom. In order for me to fight this, regular production of my content is needed to help fund the production of this said video. The reason why I'm making this update is so it's understood that I'm not just ignoring my obligations and responsibilities and suddenly hiding behind a flurry of videos in hopes that people will one day forget. The reason why this video has taken so much time as it has is not only am I a one-man team producing this, but I'm also continually uncovering more segments to the story and hearing more and more voices that come forward to speak their side of things. Interviews, questionnaires, screenshots, the works. All from a number of individuals. During this process, the video will continue to remain under production. I'm not stopping this because of her retaliation. While she did successfully give me pause, I do fully intend to complete this video. Now, let's
And again, I just want to pause and say, like, I think he doesn't need to apologize for how long this video is taking. He absolutely should take as long as possible, as long as he needs to put this video together and make it right, especially because he's correct. Both this update video and the ultimate video he ends up making are 10 out of 10 chance going to end up involved in some kind of lawsuit, because that's just how Blair is. But I think that this apology is a relic of an older time in YouTube where people are just like really expecting constant content, constant uploads from their creators. And that's why he feels, and I've felt this before too, about apologizing for not uploading constantly or like taking too long on a long video. But so the update is nice, but I don't think that anybody was necessarily sitting here like, I wish Oz was moving faster on his legally dangerous film that he's making. But I understand that pressure, and I hope that as a YouTube, as a culture, as a platform, we've all kind of moved past pressuring creators to produce, because especially if you want something that's high quality, I hope we've kind of come to realize that like quality equals time, kind of. But yeah, I feel bad that he feels that he has to come and apologize, I guess. Yeah. All right.
Let's talk about how Blair is even able to foreclose on me. What put her in a position of power
Yeah.
beyond a landlord? A mortgagee, which in my eyes is something even worse. As a quick note, Blair's name is not on any of the original documents related to my home. I'm providing all of this information to give full context to the GoFundMe, as I feel it's more than deserved, as honestly, I would feel guilty as hell putting the video on pause shortly after it hit its funding goal, followed by me just continuing to upload regular content without warning. More details will of course follow with the main video, as I do not have time to fully expand on everything. As I briefly stated previously, Blair and I dated. We started when I was 20 and she was 28. And
Immediate problem. I don't know if I have any 20-year-olds in the chat, but 9 times out of 10, you shouldn't be with somebody who's 28. I'm not saying that just because you're 28, you're gonna do something like this to a younger partner who's like 20, but it just sucks. It just sucks because, like, are you legally an adult? Yes. Are you far less experienced in life? Also, yes. Do you trust the person that you're romantically involved with? Of course. If they have bad intentions, could they fuck over your life? Yes. And you don't want to think that the person you're involved with would do that to you. And it's exceedingly rare. It's exceedingly rare. I'm not saying that that's necessarily going to happen, but first red flag, you run. You listen to me. Sitting here at 30, I turned 30 this year. First red flag. Don't wait for the second or third. Especially if it has to do with your money, especially if it has to do with contracts and shit. First red flags, you run. The first red flag to me is a 28-year-old trying to talk to you. But if that's, if everything about them is everything that you dream, after that point, first red flag, you run. Okay.
Currently, I'm 23, almost 24. In the beginning, Blair walked me into several poor financial decisions. My naivety caused me to believe her reassurances that I could handle all of the financial obligations being dropped onto my shoulders by someone more experienced in life than I was. Why these obligations were placed onto me? At the time, Blair had bad credit, so all of the purchases.
Do I need to repeat my speech? I'm not saying don't date somebody with bad credit, but if they're 8 years older than you and their credit is fucked up and they're asking you to take on expenses, learn. Learn from Oz's example here. I appreciate to the bottom of my heart how open he's being, because he is being such an excellent, like, telling his story for people of his age group and younger. Like, don't be fooled. Oof. Oof. I give him a lot of props. He's being very brave and very open in this video. I get so fucking pissed. Because Blair has been on the internet for a very long time. Blair's been making videos for a very long time. She's been popular for a while now. And if Oz is 23, almost 24, they were dating since he was 20. They were dating since like 2019, 2020. She had money by then. So if she had credit issues, she got herself wound down a whole fucking, she did that to her own self. She didn't need to pass that on to anybody else. I'm preaching to the choir right now, and I know that, but I'm just like, it's like I said, it's cruel. It's unnecessary, cruel and unusual, unnecessary. I didn't think I was going to take this long. I'm sorry. I'm going to try to interrupt him less. I also, like, I need to provide a certain amount of commentary so that this doesn't get flagged as, like, just taking his content. But, like, Jesus, God.
His loans, everything placed in my name. This included the car that she purchased, then revoked from Wonderstruck. I was on the loan as a cosigner only because of my credit at the time. Eventually, though, the financial responsibilities that I incurred would stack up on me, building a mountain of monthly debt that would lead me into several financially tight months, and eventually just breaking. This would lead me to asking Blair, my partner, for financial help for things such as my home, which she was living in. Help from my partner, who at any given time would be making up to 30 times my monthly income. These amounts of assistance would be added to a ledger of debt. And I want to clarify again, Blair wasn't my bank. She wasn't my landlord. She was my partner at this time. This ledger also includes things such as a non-refundable design fee. I want to clarify again, Blair wasn't my bank. She wasn't my landlord. She was my partner at this time. This ledger also includes things such as a non-refundable design fee and land deposit on a multi-million-dollar custom home that she threatened to break up with me if I didn't agree to proceed on this with her.
If anybody is unclear, this is emotional abuse. This is manipulation. This is narcissistic. Not that she necessarily has NPD, but this is abuse in a relationship if this kind of thing happens. If you find yourself in these types of conversations, just please understand that it is manipulative, it is abusive, you deserve better. Oz deserved better. It's heartbreaking to me to listen to this shit, man. Because finances are hard. Finances are like a big, like, marriage in a way, for example, not that they got married, but like relationships often lead to marriage. And a big part of being in a relationship is that there are financial ties that are formed. You support each other not only emotionally but financially. You know, living together, buying getting an apartment together, getting a house together, even getting pets together, making purchases, buying furniture together, you know, whatever. It's financial is a big element of a relationship. And like hearing that this was uh it hurts. Like does anybody else just like hurt? Yeah. Financial abuse is a great tool for abusers, makes it harder for their victims to get away and easier to punish them if they do. Abso-freaking-lutely. It's a great way to trap people. This is what I mean with like it's cruelty. And then she's gonna sit there and yeah, King Intern is fun. Yeah, now she's a Disney villain, more like the corporation. Yeah. She's gonna sit there and talk about other people's, you know, evil corporations and evil financial doings and whatever the fuck. And meanwhile, she's doing all this to Oz. Uh huh. Uh huh. Cry me a river. Come on. And I mean, like, I agree with her with the when she does the fake SJW thing. Like, I have a bit of SJW in me, so like, I agree with talking about the misdoings of corporations, but I don't agree with the hypocrisy of Blair talking about it after all this shit we're learning. Jesus God. Oof. Oh. And understanding that everything that Oz has said is alleged, right? Bren's Wild World, what Blair has done is peonage, allegedly. Peonage, which is a federal felony and has been since the 1800s, allegedly. Very interesting. Very freaking interesting. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm.
As well as other financial, I honestly can't account for, nor even come close to this number when digging through my own finances. This ledger would creep into the range of $180,000, an insurmountable amount where I don't even understand how she got there. That number ballooned higher and higher, the number ever increasing, and I never questioned it out of guilt for needing help. Guilt from her telling everyone, from her friends to my friends to her employees to hell, even her Discord staff, about my finances, oftentimes unprompted. Guilt in
Again, abusive. Second of all, imagine being 23 or 24. Did he say he's 23 or like he's about to turn 24 or something? Um, and having somebody tell you that you owe them $180,000 because of their financial fuck ups that they pressured you into. What the hell? What the hell, dude? He was trying to help her out, remember? Like the selective memory on these things. This is where it turns manipulative and this is where it turns abusive. I have to try to stop saying that word because it's gonna get the stream flagged. But like if the boot fits.
Involving the fact that everyone I interacted with looked down on me for her words towards me. My own partner, the person who was supposed to be my other half, was actively putting me in a position where she was chipping away at my mental health. I was afraid to tell anyone what was happening because she had convinced me that I was a parasite, that I...
Okay. Yeah, so let's also talk about Blair, the mental health advocate over here. Anybody? Because this is not this is not a way that supports this is not a way to behave that supports or protects anybody's mental health. So I don't, the hypocrisy abounds. And she did it to Oz and to Wonder. At least just with the videos that they've shown, putting their mental health, first of all, on display, and secondly, at risk. Like, hello? Hello. Okay.
I avoided telling anyone who could have helped me see what was happening out of fear of further confirmation, more eyes looking down on me. Something to note, when you're around Blair, your world revolves around her. In my case, my home was hers, despite her name not being on it. I had no friends out in Colorado, a state that I moved to at the behest of Blair. Only Blair's friends were out here. All of my connections had to be approved by her. I wasn't allowed to be friends with people she didn't like, such as
Isolation. Isolation is a tactic of abusers in abusive relationships.
Click and Wonder once that bridge was burned and reduced to cinders. I was even in a position where my finances were nearly entirely controlled by her, from what debts I took on to later being the fact that she was the person who signed my paychecks. All while my world was painted to me in a light where I should be grateful for her generosity. It wasn't until recently, when I explained my situation to my parents, my friends outside of Blair's control, that I began to understand just how perverse my life had become for nearly 3 years. And I want to add, I tried to pay Blair back in any way that I could, by the way. I felt indentured to her by this debt she had hanging over my head. Hell, I even took a position in her company at a lower pay to try and pay this debt back. Offered to work with her in her crypto farm for free to pay back the debt. Anything that I could to try and make myself feel useful.
I don't remember if he goes on to explain this here, but the crypto farm, does anybody know what he means by that? Because I'm about to look it up if at the end of this, if we haven't figured it out and he doesn't explain it. I'm very curious about an alleged crypto farm. Blair. Just saying.
Worked for Blair's company, I helped improve it in any way that I could with my knowledge of how YouTube worked. I was able to assist in the push for Blair's channel to make the sudden and stark rise into a new payout range of 6 figures a month, all while I was being paid not even enough to get by with my monthly bills. And Blair was very aware of my finances. I sacrificed a lot of my time to try and recoup this debt while also trying to help save her channel, because in 2021, due to personal and private reasons expressed to me by Blair, this would lead me to up and almost entirely abandon my channel throughout the year of 2022. More of this story later, because there are more pieces. But this led to the end of 2022, where Blair would take advantage of not only my financial strife, but both my legal and financial illiteracy in December of that year. When I was 23 and Blair was nearly 31, Blair, with her lawyer, would create an honestly quite confusing legal document for me to sign where I would agree to pay back her debt. Blair, being the person who signed my checks, knew that I couldn't afford legal representation. Blair also knew that the $2,500 that she was having me pay monthly towards that debt was almost as much as I was making monthly working for her. This would mean that I could barely pay for anything else in my life other than the debt that I owed her. Everything I made working for her was going right back into her pocket. Blair would bring me to her lawyer's office, put me in a room alone with the two of them, with papers in front of me, Papers which I foolishly signed for a myriad of reasons, ranging from Blair expressing that this would mend our relationship, that it was the right thing for me to do, that this would also protect her legally and prevent her from getting into trouble with the IRS. She also would describe to me, and while I can't remember if this exact word was ever used, she essentially explained to me that because she used company funds to assist me, that she had committed embezzlement.
Now, in a second, he's going to get into why the embezzlement is particularly consequential as a term for her to use regarding her situation and for her to have embezzled. But I'm just gonna say, again, if you find yourself signing a legal document in order to save your relationship, that is manipulative, that is abusive, get out. If you find yourself, I don't know, having a child or being asked to have a child or keep a child that you don't want to save a relationship, don't do it. If you're being asked to buy a house with someone to save a relationship, anything significant and life altering to save a relationship, run as fast as you can, as far as you can, whatever you have to do. Stand up and flip the table, whatever, you call 911, whatever you have to do, get out. Because it's emotionally abusive and manipulative and controlling, and it's not what you deserve. You deserve better. And again, I am so appreciative of Oz being so open. He deserves the world just for telling this story. And of course, it's all alleged. This is all, if this is true, what he's saying. But I also am very confident that he wouldn't be making statements like this if they weren't provably true because of the legal pressure that he's under, which leads me back to why I paused this. I don't know why Blair's lawyer, I don't know, lawyers do a lot of things that I don't understand and I don't agree with, and I don't understand how it's legal. But this is one of those things where I'm like, I don't quite understand how it fits within lawyerly ethics to do this kind of thing, especially if you have your client sitting there telling you, because, you know, client and me, client is talking to person number 3 over there, telling them that she committed embezzlement. How am I, as the lawyer, not going to be like, oh, maybe I shouldn't be representing this person because I could get in trouble because of their embezzlement? You know, like, I don't. Lawyers in the chat, let me know. But like, geez Louise. I don't know. I don't know why it does this. I don't know why people do that. Sorry, I was also looking at a comment and I got the pronouns mixed up. I don't know why lawyers do that. It doesn't make any sense to me. But I've seen a lot of things, so I don't know. Zealous representation, I guess. I don't know. I'm going to go back just a second.
Me, that because she used company to assist me, that she had committed embezzlement. And by converting the amount that I owed her into a loan with her company, this would save her skin legally. Now, to most people, that word may not have a lot of meaning.
Sorry, just popping back in to say, not his responsibility to save Blair's skin, legally, financially, or otherwise. And he's a lovely person for wanting to help his partner in that way, but goddamn Blair for being so manipulative. It's sad. It's pathetic on her part. It's embarrassing for her.
But to me, when I was 11, my mother was incarcerated for this exact crime, a remnant of the 2008 financial crisis. This taught me a very harsh lesson from an early age, but more importantly, Blair was aware of this past of mine. Whether this was used against me, I can't say for certain, but the idea of another person I loved being locked away, but this time for my actions, words cannot describe the guilt that I had. As I briefly stated earlier, Blair used this debt as a promise that this would specifically help mend our relationship, not our friendship, and put us on a better foot. It wouldn't be until a few weeks after signing that document that I would learn that she had already moved on, and had almost everyone in my daily life keep this fact a secret from me. Blair used all of this, promises of reconciliation and other factors, which will soon be further elaborated on, as means to get me to sign a document known as a deed of trust. I was
About what a trust is in a second, but I wonder, I'm a layman, not a lawman, but I wonder if there's any difference in how responsible he can be held, I guess, if he signs something under false pretenses. If the pretense for him signing was saving their relationship, but he just described that Blair had moved on without him knowing, and everybody else around him knew and didn't tell him, is that signing something under false pretenses, and does that change anything? I don't know. I'm just feeling for him, man. I don't know. Probably not, because American law freaking sucks at times.
wasn't aware of the power that this document held, what it does, what it allowed her to do. Again, I couldn't afford legal representation. She knew this. This document gave her the power to foreclose if I was unable to make a monthly payment of nearly $2,500 for nearly a decade. Blair knew that even with my income working for her, that this wasn't possible. So, it feels as though she knew that I would be destined to fall behind, that this outcome was inevitable. If the home is foreclosed,
So let's just sit with that for a second. She had allegedly, right, according to Oz, Blair had Oz sign his house over into a trust, essentially, that she held to foreclose on if he didn't make payments on her debt that became a loan that he was taking out from her company, which he did to save her skin, according to him, quoting her. But if he didn't make payments on that, then he would lose his house. It would be foreclosed on because she held it in a deed of trust, a trust. But he was taking on all of these debts and loans and shit to cover her ass and fix her credit score. So what the fuck? Right? Because none of this is luxurious purchases that Oz made using her credit card. None of this is Oz going on a fancy trip and taking out a personal loan to go on an expensive vacation and pretend that it was like a loan to, like a car loan to fix a car or buy a car, and like, oh no, I actually used it to go to Aruba for a month. No, this is not Oz doing anything other than trying to help her out. And now she's foreclosing on his home. It seems not even necessarily technically related to the video that he's going to make that will expose her or otherwise. But because she manipulated him into signing over the house into this deed of trust on a payment plan that she knew he could not keep up with. Allegedly, according to Oz. This is why you don't date people that are 8 years younger than you, when you're that much more experienced in the world, when your credit fucking sucks, when you have that much fucking debt, You don't use them as the sponge to come wipe away all of your financial dirt. That's essentially what it looks like she did here. She gets to walk away with a squeaky clean financial record, and he has to deal with all of it. It's disgusting.
Closed, or if I decide to sell, Blair gets an immediate payout, and it's because of this that I'm hesitant to take the easy way out. There's also the fact that there's just not enough equity in the home, that if this were to foreclose upon, Blair would still be out money, and she could then sue me further to get that money back. If you're looking for an easy point of payout, and it's because of this that I'm hesitant to take the easy way out. There's also the fact that there's just not enough equity in the home, that if this were to foreclose upon, Blair would still be out money, and she could then sue me further to get that money back. If you're looking for an easy point of evidence, as you can see with Wonder, Blair has a habit of taking advantage of younger men, 8 years younger than her, and their financial illiteracy for her own personal gain. Originally, I assumed that I would have the video produced by now, but unfortunately, I overestimated my abilities, and also had to deal with the legal and financial stress which followed. It's obvious to me that I need to focus on myself and not destroy my well-being for this video. This, of course, leads me to the GoFundMe. Not a penny of what has been raised will be used to repay Blair. I will be using the aid given for legal fees and only necessary expenses. The purpose is to aid me in potentially breaking out of what I can only call a manipulative situation with several lanes of legal red tape in front of me. This money will be used to secure a legal retainer and any legal cost, and once and only once the legal front is secured, will I use the funding to help with monthly finances related to securing my home.
And again, because this is a situation unlike anything I've ever seen on YouTube, this is also an ask unlike anything I've ever seen on YouTube. And I'm so in support of it. So again, I'm going to ask you guys, I know that I talked about it earlier, but again, I'm going to ask you, go give to his GoFundMe as well as Wonder's. They're linked in my description. They deserve it.
Finances which are not tied to Blair in any way. I also want to add that I'm not trying to escape any debt that I may rightfully owe Blair. I just don't want to fucking lose my home or lose it from retaliation. For further future transparency, I intend to provide updates with my GoFundMe, which will include progress updates and invoices when applicable. I intend to be as transparent as I legally can throughout all of this, and of course, I wanted to thank everyone for their patience with me, and I felt that this update was more than deserved for everyone who's been here so far. Thank you all. Also, she took the furniture.
Yep. Unmuted now. I mean, this just like, isn't it? It's stunning. It's shocking. Like the level of gross and manipulative and cruel. I'll just continue saying it because this is not somebody who's scrambling to get out of their own issues. It's not just that. It's somebody who, I don't know, man. I just feel like if I'm suffering because of poor financial decisions that I made, that doesn't give me the right to put those that doesn't give me the right to put those ills onto somebody else. If anything, I would want to protect them from what I'm going through or what I've gone through. I would advise them, say like, hey, don't make the mistakes I made because I'm up to my eyeballs in shit, but that doesn't mean that I want, usually it's like a learn from my mistakes, advise other people not to make the same mistakes as me, not, hey, you don't know anything? Great. Come clean up my life and take all of my debt onto you through a bunch of convoluted paperwork and emotional manipulation. Allegedly, essentially, is what he's describing. Yeah. I'm kind of speechless at the end of this, so I guess I'll just leave it there. But, like, again, if you find yourself in a situation that is even 1/10 of resembling what's happening here, run. I don't know what was the benefit. Like, I don't know what were the good times in that relationship, but boy, did somebody know how to get talons hooked into their ex so that they couldn't go. I don't know. Allegedly. This is calculated, cold, systematic exploitation, which makes it somehow more bone-chilling than most of the YouTube scandals that came before. Yeah. It is absolutely bone-chilling. It's chilling. It is shocking. It's stunning. It's leaving me speechless. And I'm not exaggerating. Like, this is like, I wish I knew what to say. But, like, this is, like, who does this? Allegedly, if what he's saying is true. But again, I don't believe that at this point in the game he would risk not telling the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Oi. Oh, see, I didn't. He and the ex Swoop talked with should collab together. Maybe they can heal together. I didn't look at the. I didn't end up watching the video with Swoop interviewing the ex because, like, I wasn't sure about how I felt about that because it's like I said before, where it's like I need to see the connection between the issue and the audience, I guess. Where if it's too much like interpersonal, then I'm kind of like, people have problems in their lives. It doesn't mean that I need to know about it, Also, like, for my own mental health, I don't need to necessarily know a lot about people's relationships. But now I can see how there absolutely would be some connections here. So thanks for bringing that up because I should probably go watch that interview. Also, yo, if you're here, thank you for being here. Maybe like the stream, maybe share, maybe a lot of you are commenting in the live chat, so thank you guys for being here and keeping me sane while I'm watching this because my goodness, this is something. And yeah, this isn't just a coworker of Blair's, this is their partner. At the time, not even, this was going on while they were in a relationship, not even like vengeful stuff that she did as an ex. Which, when I look at like the patterns that I acknowledged in my last video, right, when I was talking about this, oof, my neck. Her tendencies that I was seeing, right? of bringing things to the worst conclusion. I don't remember them because my brain is too fried from this video now. But like, oh, vindictiveness, bringing things to the worst possible conclusion. Um, something else. The point is, like, I don't see those patterns here. I think, I mean, I see mean, I see cruel, vindictive. Vindictive is usually after the fact, like it's usually vengeful, like it's usually done in retaliation. So I definitely see some retaliation here, but these, like the contracts and the manipulative stuff that was going on during the relationship is like a whole new level. Control for sure. Narcissism, but it's just like a whole different level of her behavior that's not what I was able to see from the other stuff that's been going on, you know? So like it's just a lot. It's deep. Blair, yeah. I wonder when she started all this against Oz. That could be assuming the worst. Yeah. Do you hear the screaming children in my neighborhood? Because they're also distracting me a little bit, not gonna lie. um, yeah, I'm seeing a few people with, I'm wondering if, um, I wonder if she took the worst conclusion because those would give her the most leverage. Yeah, put the burden to prove they are not somehow terrible on the other person, distracting from Blair. Yeah. Yeah. And I guess the bringing things to the worst conclusion could even be about herself. The conclusion being that she couldn't repay her shit or she couldn't raise her credit score, and the only way to do it was to shove all her shit off onto somebody else. But that feels like more of an excuse than a pattern of behavior, I guess. But yeah, this honestly feels like cruelty for the sake of cruelty. And I 100% agree because there's no reason for this. There's no reason for this type of behavior other than cruelty, control, you know? If it's true. Non, it's live. I'm just, what you're commenting is off topic, so I'm just staying on topic. Um, yeah, it feels akin to a sort of projecting. Yeah, that's interesting. I can absolutely see that. Um, oh yeah, the Madison thing. The Madison thing is, yeah, that's a whole other, I could, that's a whole other conversation. So that's better for you to go and listen to her speak about it. I really appreciated Madison going into the documents and like talking about the company town thing because that's a particularly like kind of, it was this like glossed over part of either Illuminati's, either Blair's video like showed it with these quick on-screen texts, but it was like full pages of text that were only on screen for like 2 seconds. Or was it Wonder's video that did that when he was explaining about moving to Colorado? I feel like it might have been Wonder's video now that I'm thinking back. Remember, my memory's not so good. My brain's not so good because of the insomnia, so excuse me. But the The company town thing, fascinating. Also awful and terrible. But like this is what kind of a brain thinks of these things? Like, who thinks of doing this stuff like she did to Oz, and this stuff like this, creating the company town, like, especially somebody who's so anti-corporate, is just, maybe that's why she did the whole SJW character and like took that whole angle on the Illuminati channel to deflect people from seeing what she was actually doing behind the scenes and in the shadows. I don't know. That's pure speculation. All of this video is opinion and speculation, but like, whoa. I can see it. I can see it. She's got this much forethought when it comes to making Oz sign stuff, and I don't know. I wouldn't put it past her. But yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm. I was in a bad relationship like this, and they would always assume the worst because the worst is what they were doing. Mass projection. Thank you for saying that, Veronica, because yes, that's the connection that I think is important for us to make. That assuming the worst being this form of projection. That's something to chew on. That is something to chew on. Thank you, Veronica. Because what does it say about the person who's assuming the worst? Mm. So yeah. I think that's where I'm going to leave this topic for now. The video might be a little shorter than the stream, or honestly, I might even cut this segment out of the stream, but I just wanted to make sure that this video got more eyes on it and that we got a chance to slow down and think through all of the elements of it. And there's probably even more in there that I didn't necessarily like stop and pick apart the way that I usually do. But like, I think it's important that Oz gets views on this video, because that's direct finances. If you don't have anything to donate to the GoFundMe, just like go watch this video on a monetized account, or not a monetized account, but like or if you have premium, whatever, like just go watch his video, give him some views, play it a few times. Or if you have any cash that cash on hand to donate, even just $1 or $2 to his GoFundMe, and wonders. If everybody chips in just a little bit, makes a huge difference. Like, and these guys need it. My God. Sorry, oof, my neck is driving me up a wall. So yeah, I think let's move on from this topic. Let's shift gears. But before we do, let me try to get a palate cleanser up, because I feel like we need it. Because that was rough. That was tough. Why don't we all take a moment, get a drink, get some water, get a snack, hydrate, stretch, because we have one more topic still to go through. And I'm actually, I'm wearing a shirt under this. I'm warm in this sweater, so I'm gonna just switch to something less warm for the next part. Because I'm just like a little clammy. and this is not the time for clam. Why don't I? Oh, I'll pull up my palette cleanser footage in just a second, but because I haven't done an update in a hot minute. How am I feeling after surgery? I'm okay. I'm coming up on 1 year since, and I think I'm going to do some kind of a video. I'm not sure if I want to do it on this channel or on my other like lifestyle channel that I haven't uploaded on since, I don't know, February or something. Oh, thank you. Yay, palette cleanser questions. I like this. This is a good idea too. Hi. Oh, thank you, Saraden. I think this is from oh, I'm all mixed up. I think this is from Reb Dolls? Where did I get this? Or Forever 21? Whoa. Could you stop hurting me? This is from, oh, it's Fashion Nova. LOL. I haven't bought anything from Fashion Nova this is the only purchase I ever made from Fashion Nova was when I got this top. And a couple others, but yeah, I don't really buy their stuff. So yeah. I feel okay. I am struggling with a couple of things recently, but that has more to do with my meds than necessarily the surgery itself. I need to work on, yeah, just figuring and balancing that stuff out. But overall, generally, like, okay. I need to work out though. And that period in my life is coming. Once the insomnia is more under wraps, under control, which it definitely is way better now than it was even a month ago. I'm not loving how this is turning out on camera. Yeah, that's fine for now. There we go. Hi. Sorry. Hello? This is what I mean. Brain knows so good. Completely gone. Yeah, oh, working out. Oh, energy from sleeping more. That's it. It'll be easier for me to work out once I have a little bit more energy from sleeping more because the insomnia is better. Okay, there we go. That's the complete sentence I was trying to get to. And then what else? Somebody asked me about video games. I'm honestly, wait, where'd it go? Thank you for asking. I'm very proud of myself because I just recently played all the way through Breath of the Wild, which I just literally yesterday? No, not yesterday. Day before yesterday. I like stumbled into beating the final boss, Ganon, in the 2 different forms, where like I was not ready. I didn't think that I was at that point in the castle, and it just kind of like happened because the end of Breath of the Wild is Hyrule Castle. The first time I went into the castle, I must have approached it from a different side of the castle or something, but it was just like guardians everywhere, and I was just fighting guardians endlessly and like never really finding where I was supposed to get to with where Ganon was. And I ended up leaving because I was like, I'm out of like all of my specialty arrows. I need to go like stock back up on supplies and shit. And so then when I came back to the castle, I ended up going in like on the other side of it, I guess. I don't know, because I like got into the front entrance and I was like lost. And so then I ended up taking a different path through. And then all of a sudden I was fighting Ganon and I was like, okay, so what was the last time then when I died didn't die 20 times, but like because I had a bunch of, I always carry around a bunch of foods that have different effects to restore hearts or defense or stealth or whatever. So I'm like having a different cocktail of ingredients, but like I was using up everything that I had, and then the next time I go, it's lickety split right up to Ganon's door, and I'm like, what the why this wasn't like this last time? What the hell? So then like all of a sudden I just like popped in, there's Ganon, whoopsie doodle. And so I'm like, all right, fine. And I was like laying back on the bed and I had like one cat on this leg, one cat on the other leg. I was like leaning on my arm. So my hand was asleep. There's Ganon and I'm like, guys, we need to talk about the current setup because I can't fight Ganon with my hand asleep. So so we and they were a little bit offended about it, but yeah, it was good. The main thing that I'm proud about is I have not this was the I'm embarrassed because I said before I'm 30. This is the first time that I have played all the way through a video game and beaten it all by myself without watching somebody else beat it first. So I feel proud of myself for doing that, especially because the Switch is a brand new, it's a new thing to me to operate the camera while I'm playing. It was my first game playing on the Switch other than Animal Crossing, but it was like playing all the way through that was like an actually like I needed to pay attention kind of game. Playing Breath of the Wild because I needed to move the camera, and it was the first time that I had a game where I was doing that because I've mostly grown up playing games on Nintendo. So like GameCube doesn't really have the camera operator. Wii doesn't have the camera operation. I didn't play the Wii U, so I don't know if that had some camera operation. But other than like you could go see up and you have this and you can see first person, but like while you're walking around, no, you're not moving the camera around a bunch, or at least not in the Zelda games, which is my main. I have a very specific experience with video games, which is only Zelda games and Animal Crossing. So it's a niche category that I specifically. That's all I do. So anyway, I was proud of myself for accomplishing that, and it felt like a nice deal to me. And the first. Yeah, I didn't have to go through Ganon more than once, thankfully. This is one thing that I was very surprised about with Breath of the Wild, is that in terms of like traditionally Zelda games are puzzle games. Like everywhere you go, everything is a puzzle. They're making you think outside the box. Love that. But what was so curious for me the whole time I was playing Breath of the Wild is that the bosses of whatever temple or even the boss of the game was not that hard to figure out. And so I just thought that that was very interesting. Like, did I need to look up help? Yes. But then once they told me what the answer was, I was like, well, but I feel like I could have figured that out. For Ganon, it was, you know how after you beat each of the, not majestic beasts. You know what it is if you've played Breath of the Wild. The Beastie Boys, each time you beat one of the beasts, the guardian who's in charge of that beast gives you a power. And I had gotten the one from Urbosa, and I like didn't know how to use it because they didn't explain it really in the game, or like I skipped over the explanation or whatever. And then that's what I ultimately used that like helped me break through an issue that I was having with fighting Ganon. But if I had already taken a second to figure out how to use that power before fighting Ganon, then I would have already known that. You know what I mean? Like, so it wouldn't have been as much of a puzzle even then. So I just thought that was interesting, that it's like not like it's interesting that the bosses were not as puzzling compared to like the all the lead up to get to the bosses, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's my video game retrospective on Breath of the Wild. Uh, I went into it. Divine Beasts. Thank you, Amanda. um, I went into it, not gonna lie, like scared, because it was my first. Yes, we are in a palate cleanser. Um, the I went into it kind of scared because it was the most like big epic game that I had played for a very long time, and my first game on the Switch that really, like I said, like required much attention. And the dynamic of moving around the camera while I walked everywhere while I was fighting, the multitasking of that. Sir? It was a struggle. Are you okay? Okay. Junior's fine, but are you all right? Hi. Okay. We're good. Yeah, it was just it was a challenge. It was a struggle getting used to that multitasking. Are you are you set? He's set. Sitting there licking his lips. All right. Buddy is good. Um so yeah, it scared me a little bit at first, but then I got over it. I hate the taluses though, I have to say. They're the dumbest. They're the dumbest enemy because they should be easy, but because it's always the same thing. You have a big rock boy who's walking around perpendicular to his butt. Okay. If this if you haven't seen this before, there's these rock monsters called taluses in Breath of the Wild. It's like, here, I'm a big old stone giant with a couple little stubby little legs. And then sticking out of the talus music, I agree, Sammy. Hold on. Oh, bye, King Intern. I'll see you. Um, the talus music is lovely. So you have, oh, I'm a big old rock monster. I'm scary. And then all of them have this little thing sticking out of them. How do I do this? Like this. That's like their it's like their weak point essentially, where it's like if they have a thorn stuck in them, and then you're Link, and you got to come along and you got to hit this thing. But the thing is, it's high enough off the ground that you have to like either always jump attack it, which is hard because he's always turning around to try to face you, so it's kind of hard. Or it's like, how am I supposed to like jump up on top of him and then strike downward? I can't because I'm standing on it. So it's dumb. It's just this big lumbering thing that just the physics of, I'm standing on top of this and I can't tell my guy to strike downward onto the thing that I'm standing on, is like, this is the dumbest. So it's just a pain. It's not actually necessarily that bad. I'm sure people figure it out. I didn't figure it out. I usually just ignored them and went on my way to fight like every other different type of monster, and I was just like, whatever. If Talus isn't for me, that's fine. I'll just move on. I'll do other things. I did. Sorry, I promise. I promise. This is the palate cleanser. We're gonna get back on topic in a second, but I did like eventually finding Kilton and the masks of the different monsters, because I tried out the Lizzle mask a little bit. It worked a little bit. It was just funny. It just felt funny going up to the Lizzles and they're just like, and they're just like sniffing you instead of attacking you. Oh, yeah, no, that makes sense. I use bomb arrows when I run into them. That absolutely makes sense. This is why I'm not actually good at video games. Is like I'm mostly a button masher. I'm not necessarily good at actually like thinking strategically about like what do I do to defeat this guy. If I can't like hit it with a sword, then it doesn't occur to me that there's other options. Yeah. But see, this is why I'm not like a gaming I'm not a gaming channel and I'm not a gaming streamer. I'm a game for palate cleansing. Ah. All right. Boy, how are we on 2 hours? Okay. Oi. All right, guys. You know what? Okay, okay. Let's move on because I don't want to keep people here like too long. And I do want to talk about this the thing with Destery Smith and Shane Dawson, which again is not necessarily like a new thing that's happening, but it's just me making a realization and I'm pissed about it. So I think that that's why I'm putting this off, is because I'm like, I'm so mad to be talking about this. I'm so mad. And I'm like, I'm frustrated that there's anything that that I feel I should that needs discussing. But all right. Let me just pull up, because she doesn't get enough representation on this channel. My cat Dixie. I have a little palette cleanser with Dixie, and then we'll get into topic number 2. All right, how about that? This is just a little home movie. Don't look at how dirty the fridge is. Hi, baby. Hey, cutie girl. Hey, pretty. Really gnawing on that paw. Mm. It's over before I knew it. But that's our sweet old gal Dixie. She's a Singaporean. She's a purebred. Her breed is a mix, I believe, between a oh, hi, Beachcomber. Her breed is a mix between like some kind of like Persian and or Siamese cat, like something in that family. Um, and No, Dixie. She's 14-ish, and she belongs to my fiance. Grew up with him, and then I joined the family about 5 years ago. So she's a little sweetie gal. She's been sick on and off a lot recently, so we're just treasuring every moment that we have with her when she's 14, you know. Ah, somebody knows exactly what I'm pissed about in the chat. I'm not going to say which of you it is, though, because I'm the one who didn't realize until now what's been going on. So, yes. Time to talk. All right. So, do me a favor. Let's just all do a quick check. Like the stream if you've been here for a while, or if you're just joining in. Uh, if you're if you're thinking that you're subscribed, just check, because even earlier in this stream there was somebody who thought they were subscribed and realized they had been unsubscribed. So YouTube has been doing that just for funsies. And we're about to talk about someone who makes me very angry. So I wrote some notes so that I could be composed when I talked about this. I don't know if it's gonna work, but I tried. Is I feel like that's what matters. So this one actually doesn't come along with like a video necessarily. I also don't know how to use my notes without accidentally screen sharing them with you guys, which might just be annoying for you to look at my little notes. So I'm just going to try to keep those over to the side just so I don't accidentally screen share those. But yes. So I'm also just going to, well, actually no, I don't think I need to pull up any resources. I think they're all in my notes. Oh, and Buddy would like to leave the room, so let me really, really quick go let him out, and then I'll be right back and we'll do this. Bye, mister. You all done? Okay. All right. Camera's all right on battery too, so that's good. I'm gonna try to pick up the pace on this section of the stream, because definitely this I want to have be its own little video. It was me. We were out, and then once we had them, I figured it out. But thank you for checking. But yes, the sound of silence, everyone. Gorgeous. All right. So I want to try to make this section of the stream quicker so I can publish it as its own little video, because I'm mad and the YouTube algorithm might support shorter videos a little bit more. And I want to raise awareness about this to anybody else who was not necessarily aware, like myself. So if I don't know, just if I'm talking a little quicker, that's why. What was I gonna say? Dunno. I guess that was it. I guess that was all. Okay, whatever. That's fine. All right, I'm gonna get into it. Once upon a time, it was just under a year ago, when I first learned who Destery Smith was, or Captain Des, some of you may know of him as. Warning, this topic is very difficult because this man is allegedly a disgusting kind of criminal, allegedly. So if you don't want to hear about a disgusting kind of criminal, allegedly, this isn't the video for you. This is no longer the stream for you. I would recommend escort yourself out, take a mental health break. That's okay. Treasure your mental health, protect it. Off you go. For the rest of us, we have to talk about an alleged disgusting criminal. Woohoo. Everything that I'm about to say is an allegation. It's my opinion. It's commentary. It's me talking about what I believe is true. I'm echoing the voices of alleged victims with the allegations that they are alleging. I was not there in the things I'm about to talk about, obviously, but I do think it's important to take into account allegations against a person when you choose who you're going to hire to be on your extremely small team and work with on a day-to-day basis. My housemate likes to slam the door, and not because of what I'm talking about. So, we're going to talk quickly, hopefully, about Destery Smith and Shane Dawson, but a little bit more about Destery Smith, a little bit about Shane, a little about the two of them. As I mentioned, I first became aware of Destery Smith about 11 months ago, in October of last year, just before my weight loss surgery. At the time, Shane Dawson had just made his big comeback. He was building up the Shane 2 podcast channel, or food testing blog, whatever it is. It's kind of hard to tell exactly how to classify this level of art. And why don't we just take a quick scroll through this channel real quick, just really get to know it, get familiar with it for a second. What do we think about these thumbnails? What do we think about this design style? Let me make myself a little smaller so it's easier to see. What kind of audience would you think would be attracted to these types of thumbnails? Ones with perhaps JoJo Siwa in them. Chat, what do you think? What type of audience would be interested in this type of content? Who's going to click on these thumbnails? Mandela effect, trying the craziest fast food hacks, conspiracy theory, conspiracy theory, conspiracy theory, conspiracy theorial. Oh, looks like a kids channel. I would agree. Oh, kids? Huh. Looks like kids psychedelics? Yeah. It's children. Scream like a Dora the Explorer child. Thanks. Wow. All right, great. So since we're all on the same page with that, let's just keep that in mind as we move forward. So whatever this channel is, podcast, food review, conspiracy theory, blog, whatever, back in October of 2022, I noticed some videos being made about a community post that Shane Dawson made on this channel, this Shane2 channel. And so let's just review that post. It says Shane2 channel, big announcement. Starting in 2023, this podcast will be weekly. Thank you at Cap and Des for editing today's podcast. I'm so grateful we met back in 2008, and I'm so excited to work with you and your company, Triangle Face Productions, in 2023. Hope you guys are enjoying the new episode. I'm so excited I might puke in a good way, says Shane, posting an outdated photo of himself with an ugly mug known as Destery Smith or Cap and Des. Now, as he says, they met back in 2008, and Cap and Destery Smith, had a recurring segment on Shane's main channel, Shane, for a while back in the day. So having Destery involved with Shane too might have been a welcome comeback for some people, a welcome throwback, a welcome little reference to the past. However, as you can see, there were a lot of people who were not happy with this decision by Shane to consider or imply that they were going to be working with Destery. Show me your company and I'll tell you who you are, Shane. A lot of really good one-liners and a lot of people. Shane, I've been defending you for years and coming back and forth with you. This is literally heartbreaking. He's a proven P, and he didn't deny it. Please reconsider adding him to the podcast. I feel you'll lose last supporters you have. Says someone who has defended Shane for years. Okay? So, So yeah, as you can see, both in the comments of that post and across the internet, people making videos, we're really not happy with the idea of Shane working with Destery Smith due to his alleged creepy crimes against children, as that one commenter referred to. Discovering this caused me to make my own video back in October of 2022, joining in on the backlash against Shane working with Destery. At this time, in October of 2022, that's right, almost a year ago, it was unclear whether the backlash was going to make Shane change his mind about hiring this literal trash bag, whose alleged crimes I will discuss in a moment. And personally, I had a lot going on in my life at the time, with my weight loss surgery and recovery time fast approaching, and other undisclosed matters in my personal life. So at the time, I will admit I let this topic slip to the back burner. But thankfully, my attention was recently turned back Shane and Destery's way thanks to Nick DeRamio's most recent clip breakdown video, in which he reviews a recent Shane2 episode about taste testing Twinkies. In that video, Nick noted that Triangle Face Productions has been editing Shane2's videos since the fall of 2022. And hearing this in Nick's video stopped me in my tracks. Because if you remember, Triangle Face Productions is, that's right, Destery Smith. So while Nick went on to artfully and accurately roast Triangle Face Productions over the top cartoonish editing style, I couldn't join in the jokes as much as they deserved because I was trying to control my yellometer that was about to burst. In the simplest terms, I am beyond disappointed with Shane Dawson. He was presented with a very simple dilemma, and he made the worst possible choice of what to do. After coming back from his cancellation vacation, claiming to be grateful for the chance to reflect and telling us that he's grown and evolved into a better person now, while very obviously shading and shaming those who dared to raise a voice against him and tell him that they were hurt by his racist, sexist, drama-stirring, diagnosis, stigmatizing, kid-creeping, and other disgusting actions. But that's beside the point. Or is it? Anyway, while dressing himself as holier than thou, or at least holier than he used to be, at the same time he hired an actual alleged G-worder, kid creep, and child R-wordist to create videos on a channel that at least looks family-friendly, linking to this perv's Instagram account in every single video since mid-October of 2022. So that's right, everyone. There is no such thing as change with Shane Dawson. Sure, he's no longer jerking off to Willow Smith posters in old YouTube videos, but when you view Shane 2's bright and bubbly videos, you're signing the paycheck for an alleged known, dangerous kid creep who probably is. This is what I feared. In October of 2022, I published my own video on this matter. I recommend that you go watch it for a full breakdown of everything that's wrong with Destery Smith. I cannot give a full breakdown in this video because I want this video to be shorter so that hopefully YouTube pushes it out and it gets seen. I will provide a summary of why he's a problem, although I'm sure that you can tell by this point. Specifically, I made a video about what a dangerous person, what an imminent danger Destery Smith is, according to the allegations brought against him by his fans turned victims. And I was so passionate about publishing this video back in October of 2022 and getting the word out there that I published this video on October 30th, 2022, 3 days after my weight loss surgery. To be clear, after my surgery, I couldn't walk, I couldn't eat, I couldn't drink more than a teaspoon of liquids at a time. I was exhausted. I was in major pain. I even threw up and peed myself at the same time when I was in the hospital. This was not an easy time period for me. And my video about Destery Smith last year got demonetized, as I knew that it would, but I wasn't in it for the money. I was in it for the victims and getting their stories told. I was so in it that after spending 2 nights at the hospital right after my surgery, the first thing when I got home was put the finishing touches on this video and post it. Because I wanted Destery Smith to be addressed. I wanted Shane to be addressed for working with this pig, and I wanted the victims to be heard. So what this video is for, the one that you're watching right now, I want this video to end up being short, around 20 minutes long, so that the YouTube algorithm is more likely to share it with people. So that means I can't provide you with everybody's full stories right now, but I will provide you with a summary. Although I've already pretty much alluded to what I need to allude to. You can go watch my previous video now. You don't need to hear the summary I'm about to give you, but if you don't want to go watch the full over an hour long video, I'm going to give you the breakdown. But again, that's the second purpose of this video, is to ask you to go watch the full video that I made in October of last year. because it includes clips of Destery Smith's alleged victims telling their stories themselves. The full details are difficult to hear, but it's important that their voices are heard and that their stories are told, and more importantly, that their stories are heard by other people. I will provide some commentary throughout the video, some of which related to my own personal story and why the topic of Destery Smith is particularly difficult for me personally. But honestly, you don't need to watch a lot of the commentary. You can watch through the beginning up through the section that I titled it in the timestamps on grooming. The rest of it is my opinion on some larger societal frustrations that I have, but you can skip it if you just want to stick to the facts of the matter. If you don't want to watch that video, I'm here to provide a summary of why I am pissed the hell off that after the backlash Shane received in October of last year, he still went forward and decided to work with one of the most dangerous people I've ever encountered on social media, Destery Smith, human trash bag, and kid creep, allegedly. I hope that people hear this message and raise the alarm, because Shane knows that he has a largely child and teen audience. He is aiming his videos and his thumbnails toward that demographic. So platforming this child groomer and abuser to that child and teen audience is not acceptable behavior from Shane Dawson. Do not watch Shane 2. Because when you do, you are putting money in the pocket of an alleged, disgusting, slimy, gross kid creep. With that being said, here's a summary as to why I think that that is true. I'm going to pull up if you're looking for my video, this is the thumbnail. It's gotten about 30,000 views in the last 10 months. It needs more than that. Or, of course, there's this one. And I don't care about the money. This video doesn't make me money because it got demonetized. It's about getting the stories out there. I'm looking for another photo I'm trying to put up for you guys to give you oh. There we go. Big announcement. Starting 2023. The podcast will be weekly. And lucky us, God bless America, Shane is going to be working with the one and only Destery Smith. Destery Smith, aka Captain Desdes, was born on February 19th, 1991, making him 32 years old at this time. He is from Shane's generation of OG content creators on YouTube and is a longtime friend of Shane's, even making content on Shane's main channel, Shane, way back in the day. He was a big creator. Destery was a big creator in the edgelord scene, kids scene, and faced a reckoning back in February of 2021 when a bunch of people came forward on TikTok talking about their alleged inappropriate experiences with him. He used anti-harassment and anti-bullying policies to get some of those videos taken down, to silence some of his victims. Yet, thankfully, the internet is forever, and their stories were saved. So, in a moment, I'm going to give you some of the more specifics of what exactly he was alleged to have done. But before I do that, I want to show you a point that I made in my video. I want to show you a point that I made in my video last year because I feel it is particularly pertinent to this video. As far as it goes with Shane. And Tim D, thank you for being here, darling. I appreciate you asking a lot of questions. Thank you guys for filling Tim in. Thank you for chatting, though. It helps a lot to have some chat in the chat. It helps me to remember that there are plenty of times that my videos and my streams are not just seen by people that already know me. So thank you. I'm going to play a portion of my video, 8:57 to 9:49. Remember, this was before my weight loss surgery. I look different. I was in my chubby girl era. I was spherical, but I was still cute. I never felt ugly. Okay. And it's not like Shane doesn't know about what's going on with Destery. This was a big thing at the beginning of last year, and if they're buddies, certainly he would have known what was going on with his buddy. More importantly, people who saw that post, one would assume his subscribers on his Shane 2 channel, have commented saying, "This is not a good thing, dude. Do not work with this guy. He's accused of nasty shit." And most accurately, as Adam McIntyre pointed out in his videos about this subject, Shane's true first response to all of this was to filter out those comments, but as the conversation has gotten bigger and louder, and more people have been making this point to him, it seems he has removed those filters and allowed those comments to appear on this post. Not sure what that means in terms of him potentially changing his mind. I have very little hope, but it's worth noting that at first he tried to hide this criticism he was getting from his own audience. So as much as I am disgusted by So there should be no question in anybody's mind as to whether or not Shane was aware of the allegations against Destery Smith, the allegations that I am about to review. He knew. He knew it so much that he was trying to prevent other people from knowing. He still hired this guy. He's still paying him, he's still enabling him, he's still putting him inches away from a child audience. Back to my summary. I'm going to summarize the allegations against Destery Smith, or Captain Desdes. A few of what I'm about to say are categories, and a few of them are specific instances. All of them are laid out fully in my prior video on this subject. They are allegations. Whoa. Why did you tell me about a call? They are allegations at the end of the day, but they are not the types of things that people say lightly. I believe the people who said these things, and they are still full clips on in my other video. So, if you want to hear the full story, go over there. I have a summary for you. Destery Smith is accused of sexting minor fans. Multiple people have come out about that. Sending and requesting nude and lewd photos with minor fans. Kissing minor fans. Having a sexual relationship with one minor fan when she was around 14 years old. And in case you're not aware, that means in the US of A, R-wording a fan multiple times when she was 14 years old. Requesting intimate photos from girls as young as 12 years old. And multiple people say that specifically they, quote, know for a fact that Destery Smith keeps files of all of the nudes that he has been sent. And they say all of the nudes and files because there are a lot of different fans who have sent things to him. At least one person shared that at some point she had been talking to him in the past. A few years later, out of the blue, he gets back in touch with her by sending to her the photos that he still had of her. That made her uncomfortable. And she asked him to delete those photos because she was uncomfortable with him having them still. And he responded by saying no, because he was keeping them in a secret place where no one else would ever get to them. One person has done all that. And that's a summary. Many of these are categories. This is who Shane has chosen, not just to remain friends with, but to hire, to pay, out of the pockets of the Shane 2 channel, to edit his kid-friendly, family-focused podcast. Food, taste testing, conspiracy theory, whatever. Fun, light, bright colors, cute thumbnails that don't attract adults. Up to Shane's most recent episode, he lists Triangle Face Productions in the description and links to Destery's Instagram. The Triangle Face Productions Instagram. But it's Destery. Because of the recent scandal with Colleen Ballinger, we've talked a lot about grooming in the media, on social media, on YouTube, on Twitch, on the news. And the important distinction that everybody has made is that Colleen Ballinger's victims are not accusing her of sexually grooming them. They make that distinction because grooming is awful. Sexual grooming is an additional layer of awful. And that is what these people are alleging that Captain Destery Smith, uwu soft boy turned creepo, has been doing to them. I have no reason to believe that he has stopped either. Again, these allegations are related to children as young as 12 years old. And they go back, allegations go back as early as 2014, they were being made, which means the actions themselves were happening as far back as 2013, 2012, 2011, who knows? Because actions need to happen before somebody can come forward to discuss them in 2014 and later. This man is known. He is dangerous. And Shane Dawson is enabling him, in my opinion. I am furious. I think I said in one of my videos recently that sometimes I get angry enough that I have to be quiet. Earlier in this stream, we were talking about things that Blair was doing that were just cruel, and that Colleen was doing that seemed just cruel. And then I look and I see this, and it also speaks to me of cruelty. There is no reason for this type of behavior from one person to another. There is, first of all, the cruelty of Destery doing these things repeatedly, the control, the manipulation, the general overall grossness of it on its face, right? But then Shane hiring him after his fans begged him, fans who defended him through thick and thin, and I don't mean his body, I mean the shit that he's done, defended him, gone to bat over disgusting shit that he's done. They can't even abide this. Yet he chose to quietly do the unspeakable, to quietly do the unthinkable, and hire a known, dangerous child predator and rapist to edit his podcast and make it kid-friendly. Because I don't know if you've watched the Nick D'Aramio video that I'm referring to, he specifically points out the cartoonishness, the over-the-top editing style that is in that podcast, that Triangle Face Productions, aka Destery, puts into that podcast. It's kid-friendly editing. Isn't that fucking weird? For a kid groomer to be making videos more kid-friendly, to be pulling in an audience of kids who are 1-2 clicks away from being connected to his Instagram. Why are people not burning YouTube down about this? Why am I finding out through a Nick D'Aramio video 10 months later? Shane posted about it, and I had one sliver of hope. And I choose to be an optimist. I choose to give people the benefit of the doubt, knowing that often I'm going to be disappointed. But this doesn't seem like something really this is not a hard decision to make. Oh, people are alerting me to the fact that Destery is a literal kid creep, and in case he didn't know that, he's becoming aware of it, and maybe I shouldn't hire him. It's a pretty easy choice to say no. No, Des. I've learned some shit about you that is dark, and I don't think you should edit my podcast. I'm not going to pay you. You can go to therapy and we can talk about it, but we don't. First of all, it's a bad look for Shane, but Shane's going to have kids. Shane is about to have 2 babies. I hope he's not seeing Destery in person often. I hope Destery stays far away from Shane and Ryland's children. I hope neither of them are girls. I don't know. Although knowing Shane's history, it tracks, doesn't it? I do feel it's cruel to your audience when they're saying to make a very easy choice not to hire a fucking predator to edit your shit, to go ahead and do it anyway. I feel that's cruel to your audience because there's no reason for it. It's cruel for Destery to do what he does to his victims, allegedly. It's cruel for Blair to do what she did to Oz. It's cruel for Colleen to do what she did to all of her victims. I appreciate that Blair and Colleen are being called out. They still have massive power that they're gonna ride as far as they can on that power. And I think that that's what Shane is doing here too. He's ignoring this because he can. So I'm asking YouTube to stop allowing him to ignore this. We can hold his feet to the fire once again like we did in 2020. This alone is enough. Add to this what we heard from Josh about the shit he's been talking the whole time he's ever been on YouTube. The shit he's been talking behind everybody's back. He was the one who told Gabby Hanna about Trisha Paytas's diagnosis that made Gabby Hanna go chit-chatting. Started that whole drama between Trisha and Gabby. That was Shane Dawson. He was the one who was talking shit about Eugenia Cooney before he took advantage of her story to make multiple episodes of a quote-unquote docu-series about her. Yeah. Shane was talking shit with Colleen Ballinger about Josh. Yeah. Shane talks shit everywhere. So for the drama lovers, there's some drama for you. Go, set him on fire. This isn't drama. This is dangerous. And this alone, plus that other shit, add that on top if you want. But this alone is worthy of taking Shane Dawson off the internet forever, but especially Destery Smith. Like I said, I want to make this into a shorter video, so hopefully it gets picked up and people see it and somebody besides me wants to raise an alarm about it. I have a small channel. My views are all over the place for some reason. I don't know what is going to come of my video. If you find this noteworthy, if you think something should be done about this, share this video, tag a creator that you like. I don't know, whatever. I just want the word to get out there because these people are dangerous. At a certain point, we have to admit that this stuff does not just take place online. It comes into real life. Destery Smith met up with multiple girls. There's one that he pressured into sleeping with when she was 14. This is not a joke. This is real. And we need to take it seriously. I don't care. There's gotta be 100 other editors out there who can put some fucking filters on shit and add cartoon fire coming out of Shane's mouth when he tastes something spicy. It doesn't have to be Destery Smith. There's no reason for this. So let's stop. Let's stop it from happening. Somebody with a bigger voice than me, do something. That's my plea. And that's probably where I'll end the recorded video, because I didn't know I was going to get emotional like that. And I don't know how to like do an outro after that. But, or like the edited video. I don't know. There's just such a massive power imbalance as well, because of the fact that these are Destery Smith's fans that he's specifically predating on. I'll keep the edited video going because that's an important point to make. These are his fans. We've talked about parasocial relationships a million times on this channel. We've talked about the influencer-fan relationship. When you move beyond a parasocial relationship and an influencer and a fan start communicating with one another, the fan takes instruction from the influencer the way that an employee takes instruction from their boss. That is an imbalance of power. Using that to get something sexual is a misuse of power, especially when there's also a huge age gap. These are illegal actions we're talking about. This shouldn't even be a question. Yes. Exactly. Thank you for putting it succinctly. Shane is giving him a gateway to potential victims. Exactly. And that's a big fucking problem. To me. It should be a big fucking problem to everybody else on YouTube. I don't care if Shane thinks he's everybody's fun, empathetic grandpa. He's not an empath. This is what I don't get. Shane calls himself an empath. He's not an empath. He's a kiss ass. And the sooner he realizes that, the sooner everybody else stops buying this bullshit, I'm an empath, the better all of YouTube will be, because we can discard this man finally. He doesn't deserve our time and attention and views. I might edit that in earlier. I don't know. Anyway. That's the end of that. Because what else is there for me to say? He's his editor, and I think that's disgusting. And I hoped that he did not go forward with that choice back in October of last year, but he did. And I've never been more disappointed. I've never been more disgusted by somebody's bad choices. Chocolate donut chip, thank you for asking. I would like to figure out something with an editor or editors. Feel free to email me, hannahneedstoyell@gmail.com. It just sucks because I'm in a place where like I don't have a lot of money to pay people. I can do something where I revenue share on the videos, but that's not gonna like equal a fair rate of pay for anybody. And so I just like, I feel bad trying to hire somebody. Like if somebody purely wants to do it for volunteer for fun, that would be up to you. But I don't feel good hiring somebody right now because I don't think that I can pay them according to their worth. So I've been struggling a bit about that because it's this catch-22 where like if I have an editor, I can put out more videos. If I put out more videos, I make more money. if I make more money, I can pay for an editor. But I don't, but right now I can't. And so it's like this thing. But that's what, like, that's a me problem. That's not something that the editor should have to take on. So I don't, that's why I'm saying, like, I'm not sure how I feel about having an editor right now. But thank you for asking. I'm figuring it out. I forgot, but there was one person who brought this up as soon as it was hinted at and said Shane was going to do it. Yeah. This was back in the day. There were several people who made videos about it. And I think, like, because I think the problem was the backlash was not big enough back in October of last year. Had there been more voices raised, I think that Shane would have not. Because he's very persuadable if he knows something is going to look shitty. But, I don't know. I don't know. He must not have got enough backlash to make it worth his while to find literally any other editor. Literally any, I mean, not literally anybody else, but like there's thousands of editors out there who are better than Destery Smith. He's just so known for being such a dick. You know? Excuse me. Anyway, let me scroll back through with you guys because I missed everything you were saying while I was talking. Yeah, you guys were filling in, Tim. Good. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. Colleen always throws shade at others when they get together. Yes. Yes. This is good. Or this is yes, this is Shane said this, but also Josh was talking in the most recent interview with Swoop about the interactions that he had with Steve Green and Steve Green's girlfriend, I think, at the time, who, or wife, I don't know, but the girlfriend was talking with Josh and chit-chatting at like a VidCon back in 2018 or something, because this is way back, and the girlfriend was like, you know, I'm supposed to hate you based on what I've heard about you, but you're just such a nice guy. Essentially, I'm paraphrasing. And what I've heard about you doesn't match the person that I'm meeting. And she and Steve showed Josh these screenshots that they had gotten of Colleen and Shane texting, Colleen telling Shane this false story. This is, you know, this is all alleged, but Josh saying Steve and his lady were showing him screenshots of Colleen and Shane texting, Colleen telling Shane this completely false story that never happened about Josh being angry and like stomping around the room and slamming things and like ruining a room on their honeymoon. And Josh was like, but we had a really nice honeymoon with no fights or altercations or anything. So like just this like we have multiple sources talking about Shane and Colleen kikiing for some reason. Shane just loves. Oh, that was the other example. Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star were also all up in Tati Westbrook's ear when time came in 2019 for her to make by sister. And like at the end of the day, knowing who James eventually was proven to be, I'm glad that she came forward with that video, but it sucks and is legally a problem that it was a bunch of information that was given to her by Shane that was never like in the moment substantiated. Like, I don't like that Shane and Jeffrey are allegedly sitting there saying that they know all of these things about James. Then you make it. Shane and Jeffrey have huge platforms. Make the video on your channel. Why do you need to use Tati Westbrook as a mouthpiece? Scared little coward. It's James Charles. You had a much bigger, like, your following with James was like equal-ish at that time, if not Shane's was bigger. There was no reason he couldn't have made that exposed video instead of using Tati Westbrook as a shield. Pathetic. Cowardly behavior. Yeah. Anyway. Okay. Ooh, thank you, Sammy. Yeah, I think we're moving forward. If we need another palate cleanser, favorite ice cream flavor, good question. I will take more palate cleanser questions. Thank you so much at this time. Um, this is tough. Okay, so I like texture in my ice cream, or if I have yogurt, I like to have stuff in it. So like anything with chocolate chips in it. Sometimes I like in the summer I'll do like a mint chocolate chip. I really like that. But I these see I don't have a ton of ice cream these days. That's the thing too. Um yeah, anything with chocolate chips in it. I like a Moose Tracks especially. That's definitely a go-to of mine. Moose Tracks. Do other places have Moose Tracks? Because I'm in Connecticut, so I don't know if that's like a Northeast thing. Tell me if you have Moose Tracks in your area. Because I don't know. Um, Um, Thank you. It's funny that you notice this because I don't even know what my seeing you do your self-soothing slash stimmy things when you're thinking feels so validating. I don't even like know what they are when I do them other than like I know that like if I you my eyes zone out, it kind of helps. Like I have to choose one sense to to cut off in order to be able to think fully. But I'm glad that that feels validating. Why wait for backlash to yeah, Layla's got the takes. Why wait for backlash to do the right thing? Shane isn't pulling in the numbers he used to. He went from millions of views to 100,000 views. One would think, oh wait, there's more. One would think he wouldn't do something else to lower his views. There must be another reason. This is interesting you bring up the views because I was just looking through the Shane 2 channel earlier. And what I noticed, because the last time. Okay, my mouth. Stupid little teeth sticking out. Okay. I was looking at his views. And I was noticing he well he has more videos than I thought that have hit a million 924 898 1.2 876. I think he's getting more traction on this channel, and this is Shane too. This is Destery Smith's channel, or the one that Destery Smith is working on. So just now, just about all the videos are over 1 million. Some are, they're kind of averaging 1.5 million, especially a little farther back. I think that it's probably become like a binging channel that people binge, which like it sucks so hard. I fucking hate it that like there are new people entering the internet every day who have no idea who Shane Dawson is. They come across this cute little upbeat, spunky little podcast or whatever, and they think, oh, I'm just listening to these guys talk about stupid shit, whatever. And it becomes somebody's like comfort content. And then it's being edited by a rapist. Like, what the fuck, dude? That's such a mind fuck to me that, like, nobody's taught, and like it sucks because like I want to let people have their things, but there's so many other beautiful things. Like, watch there's this awesome creator from SPTV. I watch the a lot of ex cult content. I think I mentioned this in my last stream. Ex Scientology content. I've been really loving watching Relatable Reese. She's cute as pie, cute as a button. She does a live stream just about every day. Her page isn't loading. There she is. SPTV is like ex Scientology TV channels. So they do this cute little thing. She's not live now. No, she just streamed an hour ago. She's just got a few thousand views on each stream. She's cute as pie. She's like 38 or 39 or something. She like just recently got out of Scientology within the past year. And she's just like fun and funky fresh and spunky. And like I love watching her stuff. I've just started watching her. She's very much like a comfort content creator for me, and she's new to me. She like just started regularly uploading on this channel in the past. Look at her little puppets. I love her. Oh my god. She just started within the past month. Within the past month. And she's got some heartbreaking stories to tell too, because coming out of Scientology, she's been through some shit, Like that's Scientology for you. But, as somebody else who's been through a different type of shit, it's helpful to, I don't know if it's trauma bonding. I don't think that that's what trauma bonding is, but like, to it feels validating when people who've been through a bunch of shit can just kind of watch other people experience life after together. And I think that's beautiful. So it's like there's so many, and she's just like, she's a small channel. She's just hit 10,000 subs like a couple days ago. And you could be watching Reese. You could be watching me. I don't think I'm a very comforting creator necessarily, because I'm out here trying to make people tear down the world, but I'm, I try. I do what I can. And it sucks. There's value in comfort creators, but like I don't know. I don't think that anybody wants to find out that their comfort creator is some kind of an awful, the most awful, That's just me. I don't know. Oh, where is it? I'm in the Tampa Bay area where Scientology started and has their flagship. There's a full TV channel for Scientology here. Girl, you should look up the ex-Scientology creators on YouTube. I wonder if you just type in SPTV, does anybody come up or no? Because it's not real. It's not like there's a channel called SPTV. But no, they're all right. They're all right. Growing Up in Scientology comes up if you type in SPTV. He's a good place to start. Relatable Reese is a fun place to start. There's a bunch of ex-Scientologist YouTube channels, and the one with the most subscribers, who's like far and away has way more subscribers than everybody else, is Aaron Smith-Levin. He recently reported a lot on the Danny Masterson trial, and he was like in the courtroom every day, like physically he went there. And that was a big thing that got him a lot of traction in a little more mainstream and kind of took off his channel far and away above everybody else's. I think that was one of the big things. but he like kind of coined this term of like the network of all the ex-Scientologist channels being SPTV. And so they've made these little logos and they're very cute and they're all like essentially on the same mission of everybody telling their story of what they endured inside Scientology and then showing people what life is like afterward. And Danny Masterson is another big update that I wanted to do. Um, oh, hey, Ann Ward knows. Ann knows what's up. Yeah, Aaron is awesome and growing up in Scientology, amazing stuff. Absolutely, it is. I love watching that stuff. I came out of a different kind of environment, not Scientology, but like another very, I'll talk about it someday. I was thinking about streaming. Okay, wait, guys, can I tell you what I've been thinking about for my channel? Is this stream already, 3 hours long? Cool. So the people who are here now are definitely the ones whose opinions I want because you're dedicated. Also, at any point you can leave. Thank you for being here if you're here, but like, I've taken enough of your time. You don't have to stay. But I've been thinking about challenging myself to stream more often, or the Twinkie bit with Ryland. Oh, you have moose tracks in California. You can get moose tracks in Miami. Okay, they're everywhere. Yes, fish food from Ben and Jerry's is my other. Before I discovered moose tracks, I love fish food. Oh, and the merch. The merch is developing slowly because the person who's working on it, who I love dearly, is also very busy. So I don't want to like pressure her. But and also I'm like not necessarily in love with the current design concept, so I'm trying to see if I can think of something else. So it's coming. Um, oh, thanks. Okay. Sorry, hold on. I'm catching up in the chat. I'm sorry. Oh, hey, Disney Dame. Oh, you guys are nice. Thank you. Yes. Aaron is on the board of the Aftermath Foundation. I don't know if he personally founded. I know Leah Remini. I think Leah Remini founded the Aftermath Foundation with Mike Rinder. I think that Aaron is on the board, but he might have been part of founding it too. But it wasn't. I don't think it was just him. But yeah, the Aftermath Foundation is great. I think that someday if I ever do a fundraiser on my channel, I would fundraise for the Aftermath Foundation because it's the most direct, like linear approach that I've seen to like helping. I want to see if there's actually. I like the Aftermath Foundation a lot. I do love it, love the mission, but they're very specific for helping people who are getting out of Scientology. I want to see if there is a more broad ex-cult nonprofit that also helps people who are coming out of Scientology, but also can help people coming out of other cults as well. If not, like I might start that shit someday because the amount of aside from needing like financial help and security and shit because people can be a lot. It's also just like the amount of like learning about society that you don't realize that you don't know that stuff. It would help if there's classes about like how to be a person when you're not in your bubble anymore. That would help. I don't know. I want to see. I want to see if there is something more broad like that. Yeah, like for LDS churches. Um, oh, thanks, Disney Day. Um, okay, so yes, so I promise I'm done with the rabbit hole and I'm back. So what I've been thinking about, I've been thinking about challenging myself to stream more, or put out more videos, maybe shorter. I've been thinking about doing shorter videos because I like my deep dives, I do. But when I started out my channel, if you look at my first few videos, they're like 20-minute rants about something that happened that day. And I do enjoy that format. But I've been thinking about doing like Streamtober. Rolls off the tongue. Um, where I try to stream or upload something every day in October. Partly because trying to do something like that in November and December is very hard with the holidays. Very difficult. October is the next upcoming like month where there's not huge holidays getting in the way. Um, and I think I have a good idea because I want to watch Shiny Happy People, but that's not I that's gonna be triggering as fuck. I already know that's gonna be triggering. So, um, I'm thinking if I'm gonna watch it, I'm gonna watch it with people, and I'm gonna get paid to watch it because I'm not going through that, one, alone, or two, it's not gonna be fun for me. So I'm not gonna just do it alone at home. Um, so I think that could be a good way to give my thoughts on um, because people have asked whenever I mention about growing up in that kind of similar environment. um, People ask me, oh, what do you think about Shiny Happy People? So I do want to give thoughts on that because I think that that's interesting that people will want. And oh, okay, hold on. I'm gonna come back to this in just a second. So I'm gonna put it up here so I see it. Um, so I want to give the people what they want, but I also I think it's like several episodes long, so that could cover a few days of Streamtober. Um, and I also think it's a good way to start to allow myself to talk on this channel about those topics, um, because for a while it's kind of been something that I've wanted to branch into but didn't necessarily know how to. So I think reacting to um, Shiny Happy People could be a good way to kind of open that door. I don't want my channel to go fully in that direction. Like, I'm not going to become Junior Fundy Fridays over here or anything. But I think that there's a lot of times, like when I look at the Colleen situation and I look at, for example, the situation with Josh and Johnny, Josh seeing a mentorship as totally normal because of his very like conservative Christian upbringing. I look at that and I'm like, yeah, mentor. I grew up with that all the time. Johnny being able to take that and twist it as grooming, and so many people like understanding and believing that because maybe to them in their environment, mentorship was not like bread and butter normal part of life. Whereas, yeah, growing up in like deep church, mentorship is huge. It's everywhere. You don't think twice about it. Does that lead to abuses? Absolutely. People who have bad intentions. But it leads to a lot of really good things too. So like when people don't have bad intentions, when people have good intentions and they just try to positively impact people's lives, and you have a younger person that you want to be a big sister to, like Big Brothers Big Sisters essentially, but the Christian version, then it doesn't have to be bad, you know? And so like that's a situation where I'm like, okay, there's a Christian element here that I think is valuable to discuss. Or even with Colleen talks about growing up very Christian and she went to this Christian university and then that's where she met Corey. And I think that there's a part of me that like I have some thoughts about how growing up in that environment influenced her decisions to then move forward, making this very, edgelord character. I don't think it has necessarily to do with the way that she interacted with all of these minors inappropriately. I don't think that that's necessarily part of it, but I think that there's a certain, you see this with Shane Dawson too, people who grew up super Christian and then their backlash is branching out and becoming edgelords because they're going through adolescence way late in life essentially. But like that's that's something I've just been thinking about because it keeps popping up. Oh, she said the school was in Utah. Yeah, I don't think it was Mormon. It's Azusa. I don't think it's Mormon, but I've heard of Azusa. I think it's Christian, but I think it's it's not like Liberty University bad, but it's like deep church. So it's just like these cultural difference things that I think people might not realize is like it's not it like it truly is a cultural thing in a way that like a lot of Christian people who like go through this retaliatory like feeling of like once you get into college, or maybe if you're in a Christian college, maybe even once you leave college, whenever you are first on your own and not under the umbrella of church culture, church things, you have your freedom. What do you choose to do with it? A lot of times it's like, I'm going to taste the forbidden fruit because you've spent a long time with stuff being forbidden from you that there was no reason to be forbidden from you. Like people who in the LGBTQIA plus community, there's no reason that that should have been forbidden. Wearing short skirts, there's no reason that should have been forbidden. But then there's other things that there is a reason that should have been forbidden. And you don't know which is which. When you get out there. And again, that's me, I give people the benefit of the doubt. I give people grace. I just think that there's a discussion to be had there. And I think that, not to make excuses for anybody, but it's looking at what is there are multiple layers. People are nuanced. People are complicated. And like I said, I don't think that even having that backlash has anything to do with how she was communicating with minors inappropriately. That's a different thing, because she wasn't like trying to mentor like a big sister. She was trying to get the tea and get them to go do her dirty work for her. No. That's not Christian mentorship. That's taking advantage of people. So that's different, like it's there are still lines that are crossed. There are still there's nuance. It's complicated. And so just like I see these elements in these stories that I feel like is just interesting to talk about. And when we talk about how does such a person come to exist, what is the full makeup of this person, I bring a certain perspective that other people might not have on these particular topics. So I think it might be interesting to discuss eventually in some way, but I don't want my channel to necessarily turn into me talking about like super sheltered shit all the time, essentially. What I might do, because I agree that like a makeup look would be fun or a vlog would be fun, I might expand Streamtober to my other channel, and I'll say like it would also be a nice, easy, quick thing to do. I might do posting or streaming daily to include both of my channels, because then that gives me an opportunity to do something that I feel is more appropriate. Like a makeup look might be more appropriate for my other channel, because I don't want to start like I want to keep each channel on theme. That's why I brought this up here, so I didn't forget about it. Chocolate donut chip, thank you. I've had you up there forever. Okay. Oh, shiny happy people. Yep. Oh, thank you for explaining that to Amanda. Thank you. Thank you. Um. Excuse me. Yes! You've got all the takes today. I think her attitude about Adam and his sexuality was... Thank you. My camera's gonna die soonish. I think her attitude about Adam and his sexuality was off and maybe influenced by her conservative upbringing. Yes. Honestly, yes. And that's something thank you for saying that, because that's something I have wanted to mention whenever I go into my series. There is this big, like, Christian people don't know shit about the LGBTQIA plus community, and like trying to, like, when you come out of that and you try to be, because you're like, in your heart maybe like there's no reason I should have any hate in my heart toward the LGBTQIA plus community. I'm going to try to be more open and friendly and make friends with people who are in that community. Um, if it's like you don't know how to speak the language and you're trying, it's like the old, what is it, the cool young kids thing with what's his name, where like you're trying to be in on, you're trying to be in the club that you're definitely not in. You're trying to be in on the joke that you're not part of. It like, who's allowed to say the N word, for example, is like that kind of like not understanding that there's a community, there's a culture, there's a lot to learn, that and that you're just not part of it, and that's okay. Sometimes white people, you're not entitled to be part of every group and to be in on every joke and to know every lingo, and that's okay. And yeah, hello fellow kids. Thank you, Catherine. Literally, me definitely not a kid not knowing the hello fellow kids thing. Yeah. Um so like, yeah, I do think that there's some influence there that I want to explore, but in the most respectful way possible. Because it's tough to talk about. And also it's all speculation. It's all speculation. I don't know. I don't know at the end of the day who knew what at what time, in what ways, and where and why. One might argue Christian mentorship is to get is to get people to follow the cult religion standards, and seems coercive to me as well, but that might be my Catholic bias. Oh, whoa. Sorry. Where did it go? My voice is dead too. Yeah, I mean, yeah, mentorship, absolutely. The goal is like helping people with their faith journey. So it's focused on the faith and focused on like how to be a Christian in the world of non-Christians, and like it's yeah, it's a whole subject. Because it's like, it's not quite evangelism. Evangelism is one of the tenets of the faith, because it's one of the things that Jesus himself talked about. Um, but it's also not parenting. It's like the community part of it, I guess. There's a lot of, it's iron sharpening iron. That's what it is. It's iron sharpening iron, and brother, is it brother sharpening brother? No, iron sharpening iron. The idea of like, we make each other better the more that we talk about stuff and figure it out together. But yeah, it can, sometimes it is one person getting another to follow what they think is the way to follow Christianity. Other times it is more of an equal relationship where it's like, we are both together figuring out how to do XYZ the Christian way, or whatever. But yeah, it's a whole thing, and it depends on how your church does it. Oh yes, Grumpy Cakes has all the opinions that, and makes sense. Her focus on, yes, I was gonna say this in my video. Her focus on only their sexuality is interesting. Yes, interesting though, as deep church would have you believe they're sex obsessed monsters, but maybe that's stuck around and she can't separate them from the sex, forgetting they're whole human people. Yes, that's, I think, because that is the element of the person that has been shrouded in mystery. That's the element of the person that is the now the fodder for curiosity. That's what because the church has identified these people, and to honestly, a lot of American society, but like the main label that is put on somebody who's gay is, you're gay. Like, sure, you're a man, sure, you're whatever race, sure, you're whatever class, but what's most interesting, I guess, is the fact that you're gay. And that's what I want to talk to you about. That's what I want to relate to you about. And when you, for so long, are taught that that specific element of a person is wrong, when you go to try to be friends with that person, it's like that, I guess, forbidden fruit feeling or whatever, where it's like that's what I need to talk about because that's the thing I don't know about and that's the thing that I have questions about, you know? So and yeah, it is absolutely dehumanizing because it does it's the thing it's like you said, it's you're not treating them as a full human. You're focused specifically on the sexuality. Um but yeah, so it's just it's a big conversation, all of this stuff. I'm glad that you guys are in on it though, and that you're like into it. It's a mentor telling the mentee what they can do and why, and yeah. And so, and this is definitely a way that a lot of churches do it. I think that it depends on, like, mentorship is such a broad umbrella, and Christianity even in and of itself also is a huge umbrella. There like there are so many forms of Christianity. Almost every cult except for Scientology, but like almost every cult that we know of that's popular in America at least links back to Christianity in some way. And they do things so very, very differently. But even outside of cults, there's different forms of mentorship all throughout. So it's like I think iron sharpening iron is more of the equal, like us talking about it together thing. I'm not having a verse come to mind for mentorship other than parenting verses, which I need to look back into scripture about mentorship because I know more about people interacting as equals or parenting, but not so much about mentorship in terms of like the biblical basis. Yeah, fully understand. There's a reason we queer folk who aren't already affiliated with Christian churches generally steer very clear of the folks who attend them. Yeah, I get you. Fair. Um, I love that you guys are like totally in this conversation with me. So this is something we can continue talking about. I do think probably there's gotta be there's gotta be an episode of Shiny Happy People that talks about this or more than one. So I think that'll give us a good opportunity to pick it back up because my voice is dying. But I want you guys like please feel free in the comments to like keep this going um on this topic. But yeah, so I'm thinking about doing a streamtober that's probably or like content tober where I want to try to do some uploads. I'm hoping that during that time I'll get the um um what the Colleen Ballinger Colleen Ballinger series either streamed or edited and uploaded because I don't really want it to go too far past October, maybe November. There's still things that are unraveling here and there, but the main thing that I wanted to unravel more really has not, and I'm kind of irritated because there's just not as much information out there as I hoped. So, so be it, you know? And I'll just have to try to find what I can find. Um, But that was my thought. Let's try to maybe do something fun in October, and until then, I might try to lay low, not lay low, but like get through these like kind of final things that I wanted to do updates about, and then wipe the slate clean moving into October. We'll see. um, it's not the charity fraud. Actually, Legal Bites did a great video on that. Adam did a reaction video to it recently, but also just Legal Bites' video in and of itself. Short, sweet, to the point, very convincing argument that it very well could allegedly, in my opinion, be charity fraud. Like, it's pretty cut and dry. You know, I forget the name of the girl who does Legal Bites lady, adult woman. But she, ooh, Spooktober, that's fun. Okay. She does her lawyer thing, and she's like, I mean, it could be that this other highly complicated and unrealistic thing happened, or it could be that she committed charity fraud. And I was like, girl. Allegedly, in my opinion. I love her. Love it. Ooh. Alida? How do you say that? Alida? That's beautiful. I like how it's spelled. Have I had my sleep study yet? I did, and it didn't provide a lot of information, which sucks. So I need to do, this is probably going to be some of the stuff that I do in October, where I need to do a weight loss surgery update, and I need to do an insomnia update, because this is stuff that I've talked about on my channel. So I will do a sleep study. Like, I'll talk about the sleep study in there. And it was a sleep study, but I guess it just, like, it didn't really provide a ton of information that was actionable, I guess. So it was just kind of confirmation of what I already thought and knew. So what helped more than the sleep study was mirtazapine. So that's been good. I'm just, now that's impacting the weight stuff, because of, it's complicated. But anyway, ooh, my neck is killing me. So that's coming. It's the moral of the story. That's on its way. A insomnia update will be forthcoming during October, I think. So, okay, so if you guys are on board with Streamtober, Spooktober, Octoroctober, then I will make a point to do that, and I'll start to plan a little bit. Because every day will be hard, but I think, especially if I do it the way that Aaron Smith Levin does it, he'll pop on and do like a 20-minute stream and be outie, and I'm like, I should try it. Should try it. Instead of, where am I at? Yeah, 3.5 hours. All right, I gotta go. All right. Thank you guys so much for being here. It really helps to have some folks to talk to while I'm talking about difficult issues. And you're seeing it first, all of the stuff that we're talking about. I think I'm going to try to cut the 2 videos out from there. I'm going to try to start with the Destery one. But thank you guys for being here. And, like the stream, blah, 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 blah. I think most of you guys have already done it if you're here. And I really appreciate that. I don't even know. My brain's not working. Great. Have a great night. What do I say at the end of my videos? I have... Peace be with you always. There it is. Peace be with you always. And I truly mean that. I do. Bye. Have a good night. There we go. Bye. No, yeah, go in peace, my friends. That's when I send people away for their mental health. Peace be with you always is the end of the video. Peace be with you always. Bye.